Tradition of singing our national anthem.
And now to honor America, the national anthem, the Georgia Redcoat Band.
46 Pegasus from the choir Air Force Base, New Jersey, will fly over Sanford Stadium. The colors are presented by units of the University of Georgia, ROTC.
KC-46 Pegasus, based in New Jersey. Electric atmosphere as the Dogs try to protect a 33-game home winning streak. Welcome to the Papa John's kickoff. Ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Chris and Kurt, what a thrilling weekend in college football began last night. Continue with a couple of thrillers today. Illinois, the all-time bounce back after the debacle against Indiana, takes out USC.
Yeah, Illinois really came back with an attitude. This is a football team that needed a win, got tested by USC. They would not go away. Jordan Mailata with a back shoulder fade, touchdown, gives USC a lead late in the game, 4 seconds left.
David Olano, walk-off game winner, and the Illini give USC its first loss.
Yeah, after a disappointing loss in Bloomington against the Hoosiers, they bounce back. Brett Bielema with a huge win.
How about Lane Kiffin and the Rebels here against LSU? Old fierce rivalry. Logan Diggs. Ole Miss is up by 11 at this point. LSU trying to answer. Harlem Berry right up the gut. They missed the two-pointer. It's a 5-point game.
Yeah, LSU just continues to really struggle on offense, get any continuity going at all. And meanwhile, Ole Miss, it wasn't a typical Ole Miss blowout, but they get this conversion on 4th and 3. Look at Lane Kiffin. A huge win for the Rebels at home to remain unbeaten.
Now they're 3-0 in the SEC. They come here in a few weeks. We showed you Ty Simpson getting his team fired up. The man who has waited and learned from watching Bryce Young and Jalen Milroe. Now he steps in against that Dogs defense. Can they affect him the way the Seminoles did? And Gunnar Stockton, unquestioned toughness. Can he continue to send that ball downfield with accuracy as he did in that overtime thriller against Tennessee? Interesting quarterback matchup. Two defenses that are talented, but at times have struggled on the young season. The Crimson Tide and the Dogs from Sanford Stadium, just minutes away now. Right now, and they take a downfield shot, and the catch is made. Still spinning free.
Don't look for love here. Don't look for mercy. All you'll find is a burning hate for one another, kept alive by a fire of pride, legacy, and disdain.
The Crimson Tide will not be denied.
You see, in this rivalry, passion has its colors. The deep Alabama crimson and that bold Bulldog red. And when they clash, fury itself turns the night red.
Are you kidding me? Ryan Williams, touchdown, tie.
Alabama, Georgia. A matchup told in battles of heartbreak and glory, a saga older than memory, yet as alive as the roar of the crowd. Nothing stands taller than this game.
Got
Tide, the Dogs, in a head-on collision of two champions. Another chapter in the book only they can write.
The last dozen meetings have been ranked versus ranked. Northern Series can say that. Last 7 meetings, 6 of them won by Alabama. The one Georgia win was in the national championship, paying back the SEC championship loss. But it's inconceivable, really, Kirk, to see Georgia, as great as they've been, lose 9 of the last 10 to anybody.
No doubt about it. And look at all. Most of those aren't even in the regular season. Only a couple in the regular season. Others in national championship, SEC championship, or in the playoff of some kind. So it'll be a different vibe in here.
I want to thank Josh Jamel, by the way, for helping us get pumped up in the tees. His movie, London Calling, is now in theaters. Giving fans these wristbands a la Taylor Swift concert. And the Dogs about to barge out here between the hedges. Haven't lost here since 2019. Can they feed up this energy, Kirk? Kirby Smart knows his team can fight. He wants a quicker start from his defense this time.
Well, they typically do when they're here at home. Ride that momentum. It starts once they come out of this locker room. This place will welcome them, and then it is game on.
In Kirby's words, this is another defining moment for his football team. That seems to be every week in the SEC, though.
That entrance, I mean, that's just college football, isn't it? This scene, Georgia runs out, and now here are the villains as far as Georgia's concerned. A motivated and focused Alabama Crimson Tide team.
Got to handle a hostile environment better than they did with an opening loss to Florida State. Last year's game, an all-time classic. The Tide, of course, at home. Georgia had hardly allowed a point the first 3 games. Alabama scored 30 in the first half, but Carson Beck brought the Dogs back. Bells spinning free. The lead would last 13 seconds until Milroe to Williams.
I'll never forget your calls. I mean, 1 second, it looked like, oh my gosh, Georgia did it. They came back, and the very next moment, it's this play with Brian Williams, kind of a coming out party for him in college football, and then the big interception at the end to seal it by Brown. What a game. Tough loss for Georgia, and a huge one for Bama at home.
Of course, Kirby Smart was 1-5 against his former boss, Nick Saban. Add on the loss, 1-6 against Alabama. Very hard to beat against anybody else. Great to have Holly Rowe and Laura Rutledge on the sidelines tonight. Laura's got Kirby.
All right, thank you, Chris. Kirby, your quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, has proven he doesn't flinch. What's most important for him tonight?
To relax and play within the offense and take what the defense gives to him.
And how do you affect Ty Simpson on the other side?
Yeah, we got to get some pressure. Number one, we got to get him in long yardage situations, so we got to win early downs, and we got to affect him by the coverage and rush we have.
All right, thanks, Kirby.
Thank you, Laura.
To Holly with Kalen DeBoer.
Well, Coach DeBoer, this atmosphere is electric right now. What have you put in place early so your team can operate and get out to a quick start?
Yeah, we just got to do what we do. You know, go out there and do our job. That's what we've been focusing on. That's what we've improved at. Lead to great execution.
You get Jam Miller back tonight. How can you run the ball with his physicality?
Yeah, I mean, he's an important key to our run game. Our O-line's got to step it up, too. Everyone's got to be involved, and it's good to have him back.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
2 key guys return, Miller, and on the other side of the football, Tim Keenan, that nose tackle, is healthy and ready for this one. DeBoer won the toss and deferred. So we'll see the Georgia offense and Gunnar Stockton momentarily. Simpson will have to wait to step into this cauldron of noise. Buckle up, folks. Always the potential to have something really, really special. Connor Talty to boot it away. Zachariah Branch, the electric transfer from USC, is deep for the Dogs. And the boot lands deep in the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Gunnar Stockton. Of course, waited his turn. We showed his toughness was evident. Comes into the SEC championship game. Tough first start against Notre Dame. And surviving the test against Tennessee. That's the stats. Responsible for 3 touchdowns. Obviously, his running could be key again tonight.
The big thing Alabama's concerned about is playmaking ability when things aren't there for him. But I think he's a different quarterback after that test in Knoxville. We'll see how that plays out. But look for a lot of 2 tight end sets with Mike Bopo's offense. A lot of quick throws to set up the vertical shots.
Nate Frazier is the back, and he runs ahead for a couple of yards. Impact players when Georgia has the football tonight.
They want to be stubborn. They told us about their run game. They're going to go a little tempo. When they go quick throws, look for 1. Zachariah Branch. On the other side, you mentioned Keenan back in the middle. And Justin Jefferson, when they go to that quick perimeter throws, 10. And White will have to make a lot of tackles sideline to sideline.
Shifting around here pre-snap. Stockton must be decisive with his checks tonight. Sideline route incomplete. We tried to find Colby Young. Talked about Mike Bobo calling the plays for Georgia, his 3rd different stint as an assistant. And down on the field, Kane Womack, the DC for Alabama.
And Kane Womack, I want to see what he comes up with here on this 3rd down. They don't have necessarily an abundance of elite pass rushers. They've got to be creative with coming up with ways to affect the quarterback, especially on 3rd down.
They need 8. Cash Jones is the back. Stockton. Across the middle, batted in the air, and incomplete. Coming across and getting a hand of the football was Deontay Lawson, and the Tide get a quick 3 and out.
Well, watch him right in the middle. This is a very experienced middle linebacker. He does a really good job of reading the eyes of Gunnar Stockton. He looks to the outside, eyes bring him back to the inside, and his instincts there in coverage allows him to be able to make that play. Big play for Bama to get off the field with that 3 and out.
Brent Thorson. Almost healthy, he says, after his ACL late last season to boot it away. Cole Adams is the returner for Alabama. Drifts over and waves for a fair catch at the 25-yard line. So here comes Ty Simpson. Accurate so far. When he was kept clean, including the Florida State game, frighteningly efficient. Incredible the last couple of games. He's barely thrown incompletions. 41 for 46.
Look at his energy. This is what he wants. You know, he mentioned in his speech there to his team, nobody believes in us. I think that's because of the way last time they were on the road, week 1 against Florida State, he and the offense really struggled. He didn't have a lot of time. I think he's anxious to get this next test back on the road in the conference game against his Georgia team.
Jam Miller in the backfield. He provides a home run threat if he can get going. Tough as well. Picks up about 3 one of your impact players tonight when the Tide have the football.
Yeah, you got to have Jam Miller in there. Great to see him back and healthy. Kermit Bernard is the guy to me on the outside. 5. I know Ryan Williams gets a lot of attention, but keep an eye on 5. C.J. Allen will make a ton of tackles. And K.J. Bolton, the leader in the back end, has got to communicate and get everybody on the right page.
Both coaches say these 2nd down plays become so crucial because you got to stay out of 3rd and long. We saw that in the Dogs' first possession.
Exactly right. Empty means the ball's got to get out pretty quickly here.
Dogs bring some pressure. Simpson has time. Launches down the middle. It's incomplete. A little too high for Isaiah Horton, who's had a nice start. He's a good compliment to Bernard and Williams.
No doubt about that, Chris. And one thing he did, he had time here because of gwes picks up this blitz. So good job here of trying to be patient. Look at that second level. This is really the area that he's trying to grow as a quarterback. Those second level passes over top of the linebackers gave this guy a chance, just unable to come down.
And now it's the Tide who have to deal with an early 3rd and long with the added challenge of this deafening noise. Extra rusher, Simpson, flush. He can run. He's got space. He's got the first down as he slides at about the 38. That's part of his game, too.
Chris, you're exactly right. I think a lot of people overlook that. And when you bring this kind of pressure and you play man-to-man, you better get home or you're going to have a problem. Heck of a job there by Alabama's offensive line communicating, picking that up, and a good job by Simpson of climbing the pocket. Recognized man-to-man, no spy, nobody there to account for him, and with his legs, easy first down for 15.
He was considered a dual threat when he was recruited, very high recruit 3 years ago. One into the left, and Miller is tracked down from behind. Chased down nicely there by Jonell Aguero and Quintavious Jackson. Ryan Grubb calls the plays. Went up to the Seahawks and came back this season to rejoin Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, and Ryan Grubb was with him for a long time. Glenn Schumann, the defensive coordinator, works alongside with Kirby Smart, one of the top D coordinators in college football.
As you'd expect, elite coordinators on both sides tonight.
Yep.
3 fresh defensive linemen in for Georgia on this 2nd and 10. Moves the pocket, and Simpson shoots it downfield. Ryan Williams dropped the football. That has been a problem for him. 3 of them against Florida State. Dropped a touchdown against Wisconsin. Very catchable ball.
And sometimes you call the right play at the right time. Watch the free safety. Just move. Look at the middle of the field open up. Ty Simpson must have thought, oh my gosh, I got exactly what I wanted with 31 Jones opening up the middle. And just the superstar there, Ryan Williams, unable to bring it down for the touchdown. It's a missed opportunity, obviously, for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, difference between 7-0 and 3rd and 10. Simpson gets the ball out quickly, and there's the catch by Horton on the sidelines. Let's see where they spot it. It's going to be just short. Ryan Williams, if he does have a weakness in his game, sometimes lets the ball come play him.
Yeah.
Doesn't catch it in his hands.
Yeah, and that's something they've been really trying to challenge him with, is be confident with your hands. Don't feel like you have to use your body. And here, that sometimes the easiest balls are the toughest catches to make. That one was a touchdown, and such a talented player. It's just maybe a case of just overthinking it, thinking about the ball when it's in the air.
Play us under video review.
Kyle Olsen in charge of the SEC crew. They're going to check the spot and see if the first down was in fact made. DeBoer had the offense out there to go for it in his side of the field on 4th and 1.
Yeah, and I love that they came right back and made a heck of a throw there to Horton. The ball looks, I mean, it looks, but that angle, it's made. Here's a good look at it right here. There's a really good look. Ball's in his hands. Progressive pylon cam shows you that in fact, Bill, that looks like a first down.
It'll be reversed to a first down. He's got full control of the ball. Then he gets pulled back behind the line. Forward progress.
One thing I would say is after a guy like Ryan Williams in this kind of element makes a drop like that early, because you worry about the head, the mind of a great player overthinking and thinking, I'd go right back to him. I try to hit him with a hitch, get him something to be able to get that confidence back. They're going to need him at some point, obviously, throughout this game.
The ruling on the field has been overturned. There's a first down.
Of course, he was 17 a year ago, 18 years old. He has a very big life. He's got a big salary. He's got a big house. He's got a big family that lives with him. There's a lot going on in his life. They gave him some hard coaching recently, saying get back to the basics, the fundamentals, and hang around the building and just work on your game. Frankly, it's a surprising start because he bounced back beautifully against Wisconsin.
Yeah.
This game had a couple of touchdowns on long plays.
Like I said, if I were them, I'd get him a way to get the football into his hands again quickly.
Play fake, Simpson on the move, chased down by Aguero, and almost threw a pick. KJ Bolden, the safety, was tracking back, and that was right in his hands.
Boy, another opportunity here, and it's a missed opportunity. Bolden is the leader now on that back end, and really does a good job of focusing in and just being a guy that you can count on. He's in great position. Sinks with that crosser, drops back, and just doesn't secure the football for the interception. You're talking about one of the elite safeties in the country. That time he got the right hand up, unable to get the left hand for some reason, just not able to come up with a pick.
Had a pick late against Tennessee, but got beaten deep early in that football game. 2nd and 10. Kevin Riley takes his turn to the backfield, and the redshirt freshman from right there in Tuscaloosa spins for a gain to make it 3rd and about 6 here now.
Talking a lot, obviously, going to go quick, but a lot about the skill. But I think the key to the game tonight for Alabama is how the 5 up front, how do they communicate with this crowd noise and the multiple looks that they're going to get from Georgia. They're going to move around, especially on situations like this, try to confuse them, and how they communicate up there. Big Parker Brailsfield's got to make sure the center, they're on the same page.
Williams is back in the game now, split far to the right. Play clock at 6. Got to hurry here.
Bammer
just got it snapped. Simpson lets it rip. Catch made. Horton, 1st down inside the 25. Kyron Jones forced him out. They pick up 24.
I really think there was so much movement there with Georgia. I think they were confused. You got to reroute with a safety over top. The corner's got to jam, at least get some hands on that receiver. Isaiah Horton makes it so easy to just kind of sit in that hole behind the corner in front of the safety. If he gets his hands on him, it can disrupt the timing, but a quick 3 release makes that an easy executed play there on 3rd down for Alabama.
And the 3-headed monster makes him really hard to stop. He's a big body. Horton, 6'4", transfer from Miami. Initially comes from Nashville, plays the Roma Dunze spot. If you want to go back to DeBoer's offense in Washington. Tide on the move. We'll take a timeout here. Ryan Williams has thrilled us in his brief career with highlight plays, but this has become a story this year. The drops against Florida State were crucial. Right up over the middle.
Yeah.
Was he feeling footsteps there? And then he dropped the touchdown late. Wisconsin had a comfortable lead, and then this play just happened tonight.
Yeah, the only thing you can say is he's obviously more than capable of making all those catches. You just wonder in this new era that we're in with NIL and the expectations that come along with that sometimes these guys overthink and put so much pressure on themselves.
10th play of the Tide's opening drive here, 1st down. Big fella Caden Proctor came in motion. Number 74, an elite, massive left tackle.
False start. Offense, number 26.
It's Miller with the false start, but
remains 1st down.
Proctor's a good enough athlete. They can get a little creative in moving him to different spots.
Well, kind of like Trent Williams in the NFL with the 49ers. You can move him like that, like a big tight end, and then you can run the football to the right with a moving 360-pound offensive tackle on the move.
Those pre-snap penalties were an issue in Tally. Will it stall this drive? 1st and 15 now. Williams in the slot to the right side. Miller is the back. And Jam makes a cut and earns about 3 yards before Raylan Wilson knocked him down.
This is a little thing here, Chris, but just something I keep an eye on. And watch 2 here come in motion. You got a safety coming up. Just watch this. It's a chance to hit the safety, kind of olays it. So a little thing like that, but if I'm watching film and I'm a teammate and I see that, I don't like that. You got a safety coming down, lower your shoulder and blow him up.
Behind the 6 on 2nd and 13 now. Jeremy Bernard in the backfield. Now he motions out. Dogs bring pressure. Bernard's got it on the edge, and he's got some blockers. Jeremy Bernard, one of the best players on this football team, the former Husky, weaves his way to a 1st and goal.
But good job by Bernard, but Again, I don't mean to pick on Ryan Williams, but you got to give me a little bit more than that. Thank goodness Bernard is gifted with the ball in his hands after the catch. Everybody wants to talk about Ryan Williams. To me, it's really more about Bernard and Horton in this offense as we sit here, whatever the date is in 2025. They've got to work their offense through the running game in 5-1.
First and goal, Miller. Spins free again. A very short gain, a couple yards to the 6. Dalen Everett made the stop.
I mean, I'm an Alabama fan. Can you ask for anything more than this kind of start? A 3-and-out, you get the ball back, even though you have a drop touchdown pass. This offense is putting together a very nice drive. It's a 12-play drive already. It'll be the 13th play coming up. Now, can they finish with this kind of opportunity now in the low red area down to the 6-yard line?
Been efficient so far this year. 15 trips, 12 touchdowns. But it wasn't against Georgia's defense.
William Sanders and extra offensive lineman on the left side.
They got to hurry. They need to spend a timeout down here. Some disorganization. Simpson came up to the line, but there was no time to make those adjustments.
Second timeout they've had to burn because of miscommunication with the operation.
So second and goal for DeBoer's offense when you come back.
This is Chris Berman. This is the champion coach of the Eagles, Nick Sirianni. This is the champion quarterback of the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. See them together on Sunday NFL Countdown with a special visit. And as we send it back to you, Chris Fowler, you know that this young man is interested in the Alabama game and is a national champ. He's a national champ, too. Do a little homework. Enjoy the game.
Ooh, boom. We do our homework.
Mount Union.
Oh, Mount Union.
3
times.
national champions.
Larry Kerr is one of the best coaches of all time at that level.
Of course, Jalen Hurts against Georgia came off the bench when Tua struggled and had a fourth quarter pass and run to beat the Dogs in an SEC championship.
Bama has been a team that has had to throw the ball down in the red zone 60% of the time. Will that continue with Jam Miller now back in the lineup?
It's Horton who comes in motion. And it's a low throw, incomplete. No chance to make a play. Kyron Jones was all over him anyway, and it's 3rd and goal.
I tell you, these quick throws that Bama's trying, they're lucky Bernard was able to make a play just on his own. But the Georgia defenders on the perimeter slipping those receiver blocks, and even if they do catch it, not a lot of room to run right now.
14th play of the drive. They're 3 for 3 on 3rd down. And we reach the end zone on this play. Zipped across. Oh, touchdown! There's Bernard out of the slot. And a marathon march. The Tide draw first blood between the hedges.
What a drive. Like we said, it could not have started any better for this Alabama team. Kalen DeBoer told us, his coordinators told us, the players told us that there was a focus these last couple weeks. After the 2 wins, they're looking forward to the challenge of coming into Athens and having a chance to be able to shock the world and upset them. And boy, this game is exactly how they wanted it to get started.
Connor Talty to add the PAT. And Georgia's defense, Kirk, another slow start. Of course, we showed you what happened last year. Who could forget that? Slow start against Tennessee, and now they're down a touchdown at home.
Here's the AT&T connected clicker, and here's Bernard, who is lined up initially, trips into the boundary, and when you motion, now you're going to create a matchup. He's got Ellis Robinson, who's following him right here. Look at him create space by going out there. Now you got inside movement here. Here's man-to-man right here on the tight end. That clears, and now you got the open space right there for the touchdown. Good job of timing that up. Good job of waiting to just the right time for that tight end to clear with K.J. Bolton. And that's an easy inside release. Look at his eyes, right on it. What a drive by the quarterback and by this offense on that 14-play drive.
Yeah, it's a tough assignment for Ellis Robinson, man-to-man against Bernard, who could do it all. See him line up in the backfield. He's run for a touchdown this year.
When they tell us he's probably the best football player on our team, that's all you need to know.
That was Ryan Grubb, but he made it slightly biased. He
I talked to Kalen about it as well. I mean, it's one of those guys, he can play safety, he does this, he blocks, he's got great ball skills.
They did say with a week's practice he could go play on defense.
Yes, says it all.
Zachariah Branch from the 4, and he's tripped up. The Tide fly down the field. That's a nice play to get there very, very early by Latsir Brooks, the wide receiver. To Kevin Negandhi in the studio. Hey, Kevin.
Chris, good evening. Time now for our Chick-fil-A moves on the field. Tennessee in overtime in Starkville. Boog, and here comes Deshaun Bishop.
Kev, I love the double ISO from a shotgun. Tennessee getting physical in Starkville and quieting the cowbells.
All right, 4th and goal here, Dan. Blake Sheppy has the chance.
It's a great job coverage-wise by Tennessee's defense, playing top down and driving on the throw.
Volunteers survive. Shapen incomplete. Back to you, Chris.
All right, Kevin. Stockton on the move on 1st down. Zipped it to Young on the sideline. That's the SEC, man. You lose a heartbreaker at home in overtime. You come back and you survive on the road.
Yeah, survive in advance. You got a penalty on the other side of the field.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Little shuffled up front again. That penalty is on Bo Hughley, who's stepping in. Ernest Green, right tackle, out of this game.
Yeah, that's a backup right tackle, 55. You see him as, you know, the action goes back to with Branch the other way. You can see the right tackle just close to the line of scrimmage and then just continues down about 3-4 yards downfield.
We did a great job avoiding those pre-snap penalties with all the noise on Rocky Top. And makes it 1st and 15 and negates the play, but Frazier's off and running. Nate Frazier with a quick burst, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of 24 by Justin Jefferson, who saved the touchdown.
What a job by Micah Morris, the left guard, and the left tackle, Monroe Feeling. Just open that up. You can see as soon as he saw that open up, he accelerates upfield, and they get that big 1st down.
We fake it to Frazier. Now Stockton finds Delp, broken up. Hard hit delivered there by Damani Jackson to knock the ball loose from the tight end.
Boy, what a play by Jackson. Great job of coming off the receiver that's going downfield, 16, London Humphreys, and then comes back to make that play. Perfectly timed up, clean hit. But Jackson had to worry about the fleet-footed Humphreys going by him, but reacted to the ball in the air with his eyes on the quarterback to be able to make that play.
Ray Hubbard, the safety, just got some fingertips on that football. Chauncey Bowens is the back for Georgia now on 2nd and 10. Tries the left side and lowers the head, picks up about 4. Get a nice block from Delp, the tight end.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, you and I and Holly, our whole team, were in Knoxville when Georgia went back and forth with Tennessee. And I remember one of the things we all talked about was how impressive it was to see Georgia answer the bell. Almost, I think it was 5 times they had to respond with an answer of some sort after Tennessee taking the lead, and they just kept coming back. So that's in their DNA, especially fresh off a game. Their last game they played against Tennessee.
Got to get 5 on 3rd to get the drive going. Stockton has space, delivers across the middle, incomplete. That was Branch streaking down the middle. Thought he had a chance to maybe pick that up with his legs there.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, he definitely could have picked it up. He had Cash Jones sneaking out of the backfield as well, 32. Look at that open up. All you need is 5 yards. Got a little bit greedy there. He had a crosser underneath with Humphreys. He had 32 coming out of the backfield, but instead opts to try to squeeze one in there to Branch, which is a very tough throw.
Stockton coming off the huge game against Tennessee, 0 for 4 to start tonight. So Thorson back to punt it again. Adams standing at his 15. And the Aussie booms one down there. Fair catch made at the 16. So Alabama back to work as you see some of the legendary faces on both sides. Tied 7-0 midway first. Mike Kirkus bringing the heat, brought to you by Sonic from that opening Alabama possession.
Ty Simpson was bringing the heat, and that Alabama offense was bringing the heat on this 14-play drive. Man coverage takes off, takes a big hit, makes a great throw to Isaiah Horton for another 1st down. This is a heck of a individual effort here by Bernard on another 3rd down to be able to pick up Another first and then third down and goal. Gets the man coverage look. Bernard once again. They went 4 for 4 on third down on that opening drive.
Ryan Williams not in the game on this first down play. Miller, he's got a protective pad across his collarbone there. Is an interesting, unusual type of collarbone injury. Holly, he's padded up tonight.
Well, that's right. He had a dislocated collarbone on October 30th. So they have put together this beautiful carbon fiber pad that's sewn into his shirt, under his shoulder pads. It's 3D printed, so it's matched perfectly to his collarbone that was scanned. He's got a lot of protection, and he told me he feels very comfortable out there wearing that, and he is protected.
Only 9 yards in his first 5 carries. Bernard couldn't corral that high throw. Where it was in coverage. Here's she called it beautiful. It certainly looks nice. It's effective.
Yeah, hey, whatever it takes. This guy is fired up and a big part of this football team and the leadership of this team. So it's great to see him back, and good to see the staff did whatever they can do to make him feel protected and comfortable. Another big third down. Remember, again, 4-4 on that opening drive that led to a touchdown.
He needs 7. Miller is to the left of Simpson. Dogs rush 4. Simpson steps up, fires across the middle. Catch is made. That's Josh Cuevas, the big tight end, making 5 for 5 on third.
Well, I'm going to brag about the quarterback, but I keep going back to this. Give the quarterback a chance to be able to step up. Heck of a job with the interior. The 2 guards in the center gave him that chance. We can talk about Ty Simpson. And by the way, good job. That's when you work on it in drill. It's very easy to slip that ball out of your hand with the big fella trying to knock it away, but he does a nice job of holding on to it, stepping up with the linemen helping, and they convert again on third down.
Bernard looking to throw the football. He can do a bit of everything, but he's going to run out of time and get dropped for a loss by Chris Cole.
That's good discipline downfield, not fooled at all. Bernard kind of started to show it a little bit early. Maybe that allowed Glenn Schumann's defense to be able to get back there, but just nowhere to go with the football. In a perfect world, he just throws it away, but the guy's a receiver, right? He's trying to make a play, but a big loss.
Yeah, you don't count on those receivers or running backs to throw it away. He took a 6-yard loss, though, so comes a very challenging series of downs. Rupp going for the trickery on 1st and 10.
Ryan Williams has been off the field since some of those mistakes. He's back now on the field here.
Simpson flips it short. Miller out of the backfield. Excuse me, that's Riley who collects it and gets back the loss plus a few yards. Laura?
Well, Chris, here's another third down for Alabama. They're 5 for 5 so far, as you guys have illustrated. Glenn Schumann was just telling his defense on the sideline, we have got to be the better team on third downs. You know they are really good on third downs. Also emphasizing communication, being demonstrative with it for this defense, because it is so loud when this defense is on the field.
And Laura, it's such a good point. The outside linebackers for Georgia, kind of a calling card for them over the years, at getting pressure on third down. They've got to be able to get home to affect Simpson. Look at Simpson in total command on the road in front of this environment. He's got to use his last timeout of the first half.
Yeah, so 2 possessions. They now use all 3 of their timeouts. But you can tell that they're trying to be very multiple. They're trying to put Georgia's defense in stress with a lot of shifts, which is what the board is known for.
Yeah, and that time the tight end Cuevas, 80, is a transfer from Washington, just not on the same page. You saw he had to go all the way up to him, kind of pat him, move him back over to the right. So that's the aspect of playing on the road in any environment, especially here in Athens, where you just got to make sure everybody hears every call and everybody's on the same page. In my opinion, so far early, 15 doing all he can to offset this crowd noise and really lead this offense. Great quote.
Yeah, he's grown up around ball. His dad, Jason, is the head coach at UT Martin, right? I think 20 years, I think.
20 years, yeah. The epitome of a coach's son.
Can they convert again? Lead 6. Plenty of time on the play clock to shift and adjust protection. Here comes pressure. Simpson off the back foot, delivers a throw. Williams makes the catch. Doesn't quite, or does he have first down yardage? You're spotting at about the 43. Picked up 7. It's going to be enough for another conversion, Kirk.
Yep, great job. Watch the center go to his right to pick up one linebacker. There's Jam Miller right there. That's part of what you miss with 26 being out. Ability to pick up that blitz. And now you get a chance for Ryan Williams to make a play. And good job of fighting for those extra couple yards to get the first down. That'll weigh 2.
Bernard lined up in the backfield here. Now motions out. Simpson again has time, and it's Bernard underneath. Catches it in traffic. Another thing that he does very well, Aguero makes the hit. Picked up 5.
Just a little wrinkle by Ryan Grubb. We keep talking about the versatility of 5 Bernard, and you don't always have to line him up out in the perimeter. That time, just put him in the backfield. Another way to get the football into his hands.
And it's conventionally, and Miller picks up a few yards. It'll be a much more manageable third down here. They've had success from all ranges of converting on third down.
This is an Alabama team under Kalen DeBoer that away from Tuscaloosa and Bryant Denny, they're 2-5 since he's been the head coach. This looks like a team that is laser focused here early in this game. They've got 22 plays, Georgia only 7. And right now really controlling the flow of the football game.
Empty backfield, 5 receivers on 3rd and 2. Handoff, Bernard in that jet sweep motion, and he kind of dances and finds a crease, picks up another first down. I don't know who's come into this place as a visitor and gone 7 for 7 on 3rd down to start a game. Has that ever happened?
Doesn't happen, but watch him set this up. He goes in here, he draws the attention, and then he pops out to the outside. Good block there by Horton, and a good job of being aware of exactly where he needed to go to set that up to get the first down yardage.
Just unheard of efficiency for an opponent in this place.
All 11. It's not just one guy, all 11.
Deep drop, Simpson looking across the middle and delivers a strike. And the tough catch made by Lazier Brooks. Took a blow that picks up 19.
Well, I am such a fan of what we're seeing right now from Ty Simpson. How comfortable he is with his rhythm. Puts this ball, not afraid at all. The linebacker right there in the middle. Got it out decisively.
Miller, as they run with some tempo here in the red zone, bouncing off people. Coach Wiley picks up about 4. Alabama dominant in this first quarter between the hedges in Athens, Georgia. Up by 7 and threatening.
Impressive.
This crowd is surprised, to say the least. End of 1 in Athens. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. You're watching the SEC on ABC. Except for the second quarter in Athens, the SEC on ABC. Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. Alabama has come on the road, executed beautifully, and is now trying to add to a 7-point lead. Georgia ran just 7 plays, made 1 first down, had 31 yards in the first quarter. Miller patiently makes his way, kind of waits for a crease to open up, falls forward. It's going to set up 3rd and short.
Well, they've been doing it so far throughout this entire game. Ty Simpson, 5 of 5, 59 yards and a touchdown on 3rd downs tonight. See if the line can give him time again.
You're going to try to run for it. Miller, can he get the edge? He does, and he does get the first down. Jam Miller, welcome back. They have missed him the first few games.
Good job here again by this offense, mixing up looks, mixing up the personnel groupings, keeping this Georgia defense on its heels. Expected maybe a quick throw. Instead, they run, bounce to the outside, get the yards.
Good Gabe Harris unable to keep the edge there, and the Tide with a 1st and goal. Fake it to Miller on the run. Simpson launches end zone. Touchdown, Isaiah Horton. And the Crimson Tide. Unbelievably efficient start on the road here for this offense.
It's another 14-play drive, and what you'll love to see is watching Horton work back with his quarterback. This is incredible, almost like it was designed. Watch him stop, feels the defense, and then works back to the left, and Simpson locates him for that touchdown. Almost looked like they wanted the defense to fast flow, and then Horton just goes immediately back towards the middle of the field, and Ty Simpson, who is just in a zone tonight, locates him for that second touchdown pass.
Who does this? Back-to-back 14-play touchdown drives from Alabama. 8 for 8 tonight on third down. Simpson, who was the hottest quarterback in the country the last couple of games, picking up where he left off tonight. Remember that pep talk Ty Simpson gave his teammates about using the adversity, the hatred around them as fuel? Can't use it better than they have in the first 16 minutes of this game. 2 long touchdown drives, efficient, and Kirby Smart is down 14-0 at home for just the second time ever. Here's the playbook brought to you by Modelo Kirk.
When you start a game with back-to-back 14-play drives, you flatline a stadium on the road, and that's what they've done. This guy has been in a zone, in command, making checks before the ball is being snapped, making sure protection's on the same page, throwing accurate passes. Here's the last touchdown pass to Horton. And then when you went to break, this is what was happening here. He's down here talking to the kickoff team. He's talking to the defense. This guy is locked in. And think about it, Chris, you bring up a great point. The whole world turned on them outside of that locker room after week 1. And this team is clearly rallied around Ty Simpson and each other.
Stockton in Georgia, great pedigree coming from behind, though. They won't panic here. And Zachariah Branch dancing for about 8 on the far sidelines.
Now it's about Georgia. Mike Bobo, the play caller, staying calm. 13:50 to go in the second quarter, down 14. You're still sticking with the playbook, which means getting the ball out quickly to Branch. Still trying to find matchups where you can win downfield. And they got a great group of receivers that can get downfield.
Bama's been tough, and yes, they lost at Florida State, made a couple big plays, but they're very good at limiting big plays so far through 3 games. Chauncey Bowens busts loose, sprints down the sideline. Zamani Jackson couldn't corral him, and the Dogs in business now.
But right now you have 2 true freshmen on the right side of this offensive line. How about that? 2 true freshmen going against Alabama. Look at the big fella, 73. Gaston does a nice job along with Delp, the big tight end. And this is a Georgia team that when they went to Tuscaloosa, if I remember, they were down 28 and fought back to take the lead. So they know what it takes to get back into any game.
Yeah, their last game at Tennessee on the road, down 14. Stockton loops the throw. Wide open is Colby Young for a touchdown. How's that for an answer? Can't be surprised, can you?
Right on cue. Alabama rolled the dice. They've been blitzing some safeties. When you do that, you don't have anybody back there to help out. It's one-on-one, and we just said how they have got guys who can go downfield. This is a slant and go. The eyes of Zamani Jackson were in the backfield. No safety behind help. And an easy route by Colby Young and Gunnar Stockton to be able to make that throw for an easy touchdown.
Peyton Woodring for the PAT. That was a tough 2-play sequence for Jackson. Missed a tackle on the perimeter, then gets beaten deep. And Georgia, in a minute 13, takes it 75 yards in 3 plays. No surprise, the Dogs quickly respond. Lead cut in half here, early second quarter. Kirby Smart's offense strikes back. The question is, can they slow down Ty Simpson defensively? Here's how they cut the lead in half here.
Yeah, again, you can see that their corners on islands. You got a 14-point lead. Very risky, aggressive approach, but that's how Alabama came into it. But Kane Womack goes to his team. Hey, guys, we're fine. Watch this. That's on me. He tells everybody, guys, that one's on me. That one's on me. You know, you play with a 14-point lead. Even though he's an aggressive defensive coordinator, you'd love to just keep the ball in front of you and not give up the explosives. But great job by him talking to the team when they came off the field.
Howdy, you had a nice visit with Ty Simpson about trying to slow his mind down using various techniques.
That's right. This is the first time he's playing between the hedges, and he said sometimes out there my mind can be racing with everything that's on me. They did a team box breathing meditation workout this last week, and he said, I've been using it on the sideline. 4 deep breaths in. You hold it for 4 breaths, 4 breaths out. It calms the autonomic nervous system. He said it's really been helping him slow his mind down so he can be sharp and fast on his progressions, but not racing in his mind.
Holly, I try that when I wake up at 2 in the morning. I try to do that 4 and 4 to just get in that Zen moment. Doesn't work for me.
Doesn't work?
No.
Simpson looking to throw on first down, flips it a screen, and that's Riley. And Riley's loose down the far sideline. This guy was a 5th string back in camp. He just patiently climbed up the depth chart, making a big impact.
And I love the call here on 1st and 10 because look at Georgia. They're bringing pressure. Good job of baiting them. Now you got the convoy in front. But watch, they got a chance to make this tackle right there, and it's missed by Ellis Robinson, who's known as a cover corner. But you got to make that tackle in the open field. But a good play call. Good job of the lineman getting downfield. A good tough running there by Riley to get positive yards into Georgia territory.
Interesting call of screen. You know the defense is going to be all fired up off of that touchdown, and they use that aggression against them. Tied right back in Georgia territory. Bernard in the flat, gets a block from Ryan Williams. To give him credit, he did a good job on the perimeter that time, Kurt.
Yeah, you sit on the bench and you know you're going to get the attention of players. It's Ryan Grubb, who Chris just mentioned, has been with Kalen DeBoer throughout much of their coaching careers together. After Kalen DeBoer went to Tuscaloosa, he decided to stay in Seattle. He worked for the Seahawks for a year. Things didn't work out, so he's back now working with Kalen DeBoer. And I tell you, he is off to a great start himself, with a real good feel of what to expect from Kirby Smart and Glenn Schumann from this Georgia defense.
2nd and 8. Tide don't have any timeouts left. Play clock winding down to 3. And they hand off to Riley, who's slammed down at the 45. It'll be another 3rd and long. The Dogs get off the field.
The challenge to run between the tackles against Georgia's the movement. So much movement, slanting and angling. That time able to slip off of the blocks.
Dogs still trying to get adjusted over there. Some confusion on the defensive side. Simpson has time and now rolls and fires incomplete. On the far sideline, delivered a bullet, but Rico Scott couldn't work his way, and they finally are unable to convert on 3rd down after going 8 for 8.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I saw the same thing. Georgia just trying to get on the same page. Simpson looked that way. I think he thought he maybe had an opportunity with miscommunication. He's really locked in on 11, Rico Scott, but Scott did a pretty good job working back to the ball, but finally Georgia gets Bama off the field.
That's his first really inaccurate throw tonight, a fastball that was way outside. So Blake Dowd trying to pin the Dogs back, boots a line drive, which is bouncing and fielded on the bounce by Branch. Apparently had already signaled a fair catch, and he'll have the ball at the 6 to start. 2 Monday Night Football matchups. I'll be with Lewis, Dan, Katie, and Peter down on the Dolphins and the Jets, Bengals and Broncos at 8 o'clock Eastern time on ABC.
I know Cincinnati fans are fired up to see if they can keep it going, get it going rather, against Denver. I know they're anxious that the Cincinnati Reds are up 6-2 tonight.
Work that in.
Yeah, had to work that in. Had to work that in.
Anxious Dolphins and Jets fans. Something's got to give.
Somebody's going to get a W.
All right. Stockton off that electrifying drive minutes ago from the 6. Feeds Nate Frazier. knocked down after a short game. Holly?
Developing situation for Alabama at defensive end. Q Rusaw, their starter, is out right now being evaluated for a lower leg injury in the locker room. His backup, Jamarian Latham, suffered a back injury Tuesday, has been in ICU in the hospital. I'm told he's back home watching this game. According to Dante Pierre is in there right now, guys.
He's a talented pass rusher, but Q Rusaw is a key part of this defense, so we'll try to get you information as that story develops. 2nd and 8. Enough inside. Frazier. Fumble the football, and Alabama recovers it. Lawson fell on the football. Bray Hubbard, who is a playmaking safety, knocked it loose. Wow.
Chris, tonight, Hubbard as a safety has really been acting like a linebacker up near the line of scrimmage on almost every snap, unless it's an obvious passing down. And this time, his instincts pay off, filling up tight to the line of scrimmage, puts his shoulder pad right on the football, and eventually knocks that ball away from Nate Frazier. And Bama jumps on top of it. Looked like Deontay Lawson. Look at that form tackle. Ball is out.
Hubbard is just a playmaker. He's already got a couple of picks and now a forced fumble. And Alabama set up the 11-yard line with the first takeaway tonight. Miller tries the middle. And Georgia claims momentum. The touchdown pass. Bama able to flip the field, pin him back.
That's
this
right.
is a big moment in the second quarter.
That's called complementary football. Coaches talk about it. If you can't score, get your special teams unit out there and you pin your opponent as far back as you can. And you get a turnover. Now you got the short field. Can you capitalize?
Miller again as they test the middle of that Dogs defense. You said how tough that is. KJ Bolden, the safety, came downhill to make the stop. It's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, much like we saw with Bray Hubbard, KJ Bolden down inside the 10-yard line. He is basically acting like an extra man down, like another linebacker. Nobody able to climb up to him. So yet another 3rd down for this Alabama offense. 8 of 9 to open up this game on 3rd downs.
35th play they have run already, midway second quarter. Miller in the slot to the left. Simpson looks to the right, fires end zone, battle for the football, incomplete. Look for Bernard. It was broken up by Ellis Robinson, who had a tough start to this game, made a nice play there.
Yeah, Ellis Robinson, we talked about how he has got great cover skills. You practice this all the time against your own receivers. Get in phase, get into the face, and then get your head turned around and be able to get that arm timed up perfectly to knock it away. Doesn't get much better than what Robinson does on that back shoulder fake.
They trust Bernard in those contested catches. He's got great strength. But Robinson makes the play, and now Connor Talty on for a chip shot. And the Tide convert the fumble recovery to 3 and stretch the lead to 10. Feature back in this offense, Nate Frazier. Do not expect him to make a mistake like this, but the Dogs defense stands up and keeps Bama out of the end zone.
ABC's Saturday Night Football is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
So Alabama, 7th takeaway of the season. They have yet to have a turnover. Ashton for 3. Lead back to double digits. And Branch will leave it in the end zone. Laura, was a bye week for the Dogs, but a big moment for Gunnar Stockton last weekend.
He He's a humble guy, as you know, Chris, but he did get a lot of recognition getting his jersey retired at Rabun County High School there in Tiger, Georgia. He said it was great to be back with so many people who loved him so well, getting to catch up with some people as well. He's a man of few words, though, Chris. He wanted to just get right back to business, and we were trying to give him some credit for getting the jersey retired.
Yeah, but his big smile said it all, didn't it? It's about 90 minutes north of here, very northern part of Georgia. Handoff. Branch looking for room, but losing yardage. Trapped back inside the 20. Yanze Pierre is a twitched-up pass rusher. Got there in a hurry.
He sure did. You just talked about him, you and Holly, and boy, he's taken advantage of these first few weeks, doing a great job of rushing the quarterback, and now being asked to make more plays on the early downs. And that time did a really good job of looking into the backfield and getting through a potential double team to be able to make that tackle for a loss.
I always ask the coaches, who are your most explosive twitched-up pass rushers? He's not on the 2 deep, but that was the first name they said. Pierre Stockton zips it. And the catch is made by Colby Young, who shows that strength after the catch and muscles for a first down across the 35. Picked up 17.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see from a receiver. They say this entire group is the most unselfish group maybe on the entire team. Here's an example of the effort and attitude led by Colby Young, 6'4", 215, makes that catch, and then fights for another 5 or 6 yards through Bama defenders.
Second year at Georgia, has battled injuries throughout his career, but when he was down with the Canes, very productive weapon, and you're seeing why this year when he's healthy. Bowens cuts it back, leans forward for about 4.
It's good to see Tim Keenan back in the middle of this defense, 96 in white. He's been out, and he brings maturity and also experience and toughness. And I'll tell you what he also brings is size. He eats up those double teams and frees up the backers to make a lot of plays, especially again through the teeth of that defense.
Eats up less than he used to. He was 400 pounds when he got here out of high school. Right. Now he's a svelte 320. Stockton delivers a strike in traffic. It's a first down near midfield. London Humphreys, who caught that huge 4th down touchdown at Tennessee last game.
Yeah, Georgia hasn't had many opportunities in his first half, and that's a credit to what Alabama's been able to do, converting a lot of the 3rd downs. They've been able to possess the ball. This is only the play coming up, only the 17th play that Georgia's had here in this first half. Look at the time of possession advantage. So the minimum opportunities that you're going to get, you got to capitalize when you get them.
Josh McCray, the 240-pound hammer who scored that overtime touchdown in the game as pass protector. Stockton flush, and he'll be sacked. It's a short sack, but Edric Hill got him.
Well, this is, I think, the area that we talked about in Tennessee. It's a pretty good job of picking up the potential pass rush right here. And watch how he's got time. There's really no need to get out of there. He's got time, and that's the area I think you're going to see Gunnar Stockton, the more experience he gets. He's so used to relying on his legs to make a play. You got to trust it, go through your progressions, and get that ball out.
Handoff inside. Bowens busts loose. Chauncey Bowens galloping down the sideline, knocked out inside the 10 by Jackson. Picked up 43.
Chris, watch the 2 guards, 56, Morris right here, and watch 63, the freshman. They just pushed the entire Alabama defensive line, just flush them down, and that opened it up for Chauncey Bowens. Morris is a veteran 5th-year senior, and 63, Dontrell Glover, a true freshman. Both do a great job of giving 33 a chance to hit that crease.
Bowens, a big man that has that gear. 1st and goal, Dogs. Quick pitch to the edge. Catch made. Nice hands catch by Zachariah Branch, who spins down to the 5.
That's an RPO, or if you get a chance and you got a 2-on-2 matchup, they want to flip it out there because they trust Zachariah Branch to make a play. We saw that in the Tennessee game. It led to a touchdown. He could either hand it off, or if he's got the numbers, flip it out there. He decided to flip it out, got a few yards.
McCray shifts over to the right on 2nd and goal. He's got the football. Here's a huge short yardage hammer in Illinois. 10 rushing touchdowns a year ago. Comes over part of this deep stable in Athens.
He was the hero in Knoxville, fighting for every inch. Eventually, replay gave him the touchdown in overtime to celebrate that victory for the Georgia Bulldogs.
No fun to tackle late in the game. Ready anytime for that man.
Yeah. They will lean on you with 4 or 5 guys, try to wear you down that second half.
Power formation on 3rd and goal. McCray again. No, he has met in the backfield. Huge collision. LT Overton said, not this time.
Boy, did they do a good job of, again, slanting and just being physical. Watched him push through this Georgia front. You remember, Alabama gets the ball to start the second half. Georgia, as we talked about, sensing an opportunity. Haven't had a lot of them. 4th down, they want to go for it.
They've been very successful on 4th. 5 for 5 with 3 touchdowns scored. Stockton from the pocket, pressured, flips it short. Bowens flagged down as he's dropped at the 2-yard line.
They're going to get defensive holding, I think, on Georgia in the secondary.
On Bama?
On Alabama. This should be a 1st down.
Results of the play is the runner was short of the goal line. Holding. Defense. Holding supply.
It
Automatic 1st down.
It was on Xavier Brown, who is locked up one-on-one.
That's confused. They did not decline the penalty.
No, you're going to take it. Here he is, matched up one-on-one with Colby Young. A little inside, little stutter, grabs around his waist, and that's where the flag came in. So Georgia doesn't convert, but gets the big break for the 1st and goal.
McCray's the back, 3 tight ends in the game, and Bowens is going to be stopped in the backfield. 2 backs in the game. It was Bowens who took the turn, and he's actually stopped behind the line.
Boy, that's what you want to see from Alabama. That's called, penetration, shooting gaps. That play never had a chance with the penetration you had on that left side by Alabama. Not just the defensive line, but linebackers timing it up perfectly as well, shooting gaps.
It's Micah Morris, the 5th-year senior left guard, already injury depleted O-line for the Dogs. Athletic trainers looking at his left leg.
Yeah, it looked like it overextended when he tried to pull to get out in front.
It's just mayhem down there in the pit.
It is.
300-pounders all over the place on both sides.
When he tried to pull out of it, he's a big man. Watch 56 up to the top left. See that? Kind of gets stretched out there, but look at the white jerseys. Lawson, 0, the leader, ends up getting in there to make the play. Good to see him walking off.
Right, kind of a hyperextension that planted.
Yep.
You said is important. Alabama getting the football to begin the second half after deferring the coin toss. So Kalen DeBoer's team protecting that 10-point lead.
They already have a bunch of injury, with Green out. You got Juan Gaston, a true freshman that's been playing some right tackle with Hughley, and now Morris goes out. It'd be interesting to see what they do with Glover and how they mix and match with the injuries they have.
Glover, another true freshman who had to step in against Tennessee. Man, it's tough to be 1 year removed from high school and be out there playing that position in this conference.
And by the way, Gaston 73 is 6'7", 360 as a true freshman, and Glover 6'3", 320. Both out there.
Hughley back in the game. Kirk at right tackle after the loss. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 2.5-yard line. McCray and Bowens both in the game, as are 3 tight ends.
Remember, Gunnar Stockton's legs, always a potential factor down in this area.
The unusual 23 personnel for the Dogs here. On the pitch, walking in for the touchdown is Bowens. And Georgia Hits back again.
It doesn't matter what Georgia goes through. This is a team in 2025 that'll make adjustments, keep their poise, and never give up. They just keep fighting. That's what Kirby Smart prides himself on, and this team has shown that. They showed it in Knoxville, and they've shown it tonight here at home to get back into this game.
75-yard drive, 11 plays, almost 6.5 minutes, and a 3-point game, 2 away before halftime.
It's a big score, and you're going to see Delp, the tight end, work his way over, give him an extra body to be able to pick up a nice block there. Really, it's just once they get the seal block, you can see 7 also lucky involved. They're just really walk into that corner for an easy touchdown. But again, a great response from Georgia after they gave up 3 after their own fumble, come right back and put 7 on the board.
Who's got the hot hand? A number of guys do, but tonight it's Bowens who's averaging almost 14 yards on his 6 carries, already 82 yards rushing, had the big 43-yard sprint a few minutes ago. And that old toss sweep to the boundary. Georgia fans love to see that. A lot of great tailbacks over the years have scored touchdowns on that kind of play.
I saw it firsthand with Garrison Hurst when we played Georgia in a bowl game. They just walked to the corner. Herschel Walker, Terrell Davis. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Kickoff's going to sail way past the end line. So let's see, with 2:08 to go, knowing they're going to get the football to start the third quarter, knowing that Simpson's been hot, what do you do here, Coach?
Well, you got no timeouts. You're going to play with some urgency probably once you pick up that first down. But this quarterback, let's face it, I mean, as far as first halves go, on the road in this environment, couldn't have gone any better for Ty Simpson. He's in total command. Let's see how he works here in this 2-minute drill. At the very least, try to get in the field goal range. Still have the 2-minute timeout.
Williams in the slot to the right. Now he'll move out in between the tight end. Testing the middle again. And C.J. Allen wrestling Riley down, and that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. So the Tide pick up 2 to get this possession going, and they threaten to add to this 3-point lead.
Forward halftime report, minutes away with Boog and Dan. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, they make a statement over number 4 LSU. We'll hear from Kiffin and Brian Kelly. Meanwhile, how about this development? And we've got Vandy going to Tuscaloosa next week undefeated. 5-0 for the second time in 80 years. Diego Pavia matching a school record with 5 touchdown passes. Back to you, Chris and Kirk.
Kevin, thanks. Good to see Orlovsky in there, my old buddy. He didn't do enough. He's laughing. Let's throw him in there with you guys on Saturday. Ryan Williams on a reverse. Williams scoots quickly for 11. Just 1 catch after the early drop, but picks up 11 on the ground.
Yeah, another way of trying. We saw that with Bernard a little earlier, just trying to find ways to get some of their speed, get their hands on the football here, able to get a first down, and on top of that, get out of bounds. Still no timeouts. Minute 54. No, you don't have to be in that NASCAR urgency, but obviously you got a quarterback who's in his 4th year, even though he's in his 1st year as a starter. He's seen this and understands what needs to happen, but the operation not clean. They can't call a timeout. They're down to 9, 8, 7.
The play's under review. They're going to take a look at this to see if he got the first down or not.
Okay, great.
That explains, Bill, why they were standing around. As you said, you don't want to take a 5-yard penalty here. See where Williams crossed out. Football is behind the marker when the foot hits the paint.
Yeah, about a half yard.
So instead of a first down, John Allman, the replay official, you figure a quick review to take that back.
And on one hand, he's keeping that ball to the outside to protect himself from the ball getting batted. But wouldn't you love to see, once he turned the corner, awareness of where that first down marker is, and just, as you're going out of bounds, just kind of stick it across that line to get the first down, just to make it crystal clear.
It'll be 3rd and 1. Perhaps less than a yard for DeBoer's offense, assuming they do reverse this call of a first down. You know, you mentioned not NASCAR. Tempo is something that has given Georgia, like all defenses, trouble. Certainly Tennessee, whenever they crank up the tempo, and nobody plays that fast, we're able to really trouble Georgia.
The ruling on the field has been overturned. Runners are going short of the line of the game. It'll be 3rd down.
Ryan Grubb did say he would use it tactically tonight.
This is where you want to use it tactically. But not that blazing tempo, but you got a quarterback that's in a zone, a quarterback that understands down and distance, not taking a sack, throw the ball away. Tricky part is not having any of the timeouts left.
And Georgia has all 3, so if they do get the stop here, chance to tie or perhaps take the lead before halftime. Miller and Bernard in the backfield along with Isaiah Horton. And on the perimeter, it's a trick play, and it works. Interesting 3rd and 1 as Bernard flips the pass to Horton. 2 guys who've scored touchdowns tonight combine to move the sticks.
Well, first of all, you give a different wrinkle with the formation that you pointed out with Horton in the backfield, so you're hoping that maybe a linebacker doesn't pick him up. Then you flip it to a receiver who wanted to throw one earlier. This time he got his wish, and he got to be able to throw a pass for a first down.
Clock moving. Minute 35. Alabama still in no hurry. 4-man rush. Simpson has plenty of time. Pumps, and now he's going to flush and roll and fire across the middle. And wide open is Williams, who makes that catch over the middle. And he's in Georgia territory at the 45.
Boy, Ryan Williams did such a great job of looking around to see exactly where the defenders were. And he just kind of settled right in the middle in that big kind of open spot there, that window, to give his quarterback a chance to make that throw.
Simpson with the rush honing in on him very quickly. Chris Cole making a beeline for the quarterback affected the play.
Chris, watch Ryan Williams right here to your right. Watch, he's running his route. Not a great route, but watch his head. He kind of looks around, and then he just settles right there. Gives him an easy target to be able to make that throw.
And looks it into the hands without swiveling the head. Williams back in the fold, involved in this drive as a ball carrier and a pass receiver. Alabama again has to be efficient without the timeout. The play clock down at 3. And just get it snapped. Simpson dumps it off in traffic. Brooks makes the play, and let's hear Brooks is still running. Poor tackling by the Dogs, and Brooks busts free down inside the 25. That was Dalen Everett who couldn't corral him. 21-yard gain.
But Ryan Grubb is pulling out all the stops here. I think he expected to be hit. Now he's loose. Missed tackle by Everett that you pointed out. That's really his specialty as a boundary corner. And I'll tell you what, they get the ball into the hands of Brooks. He is fun to watch as a true freshman.
He went out of bounds, so Georgia able to kind of slow things down. And a lot of big bodies. Now they'll spend a timeout on defense here. Man, this is just...
See him say, we got to wrap up. That's what he just said to Everett.
Just good stuff, Kirk. I mean, we talk about, putting these two teams on the field, and there are high expectations for drama and something that's potentially unforgettable. We saw that last year, and here they are again. Trade blows back and forth, and now another opportunity for Bama to stretch the lead, and Georgia's got to step up on defense.
Well, they have to, because Bama gets the ball again to start the second half. But I do think this is a game that it's just the way these brands are. It's going to be, it's like a heavyweight fight that these two are sitting in the middle of the ring, and they're just taking swings at each other. Neither one's going to back down. They know not just that pride's at stake, they know what's at stake, especially Bama after a loss to Florida State. They feel like this is a must-win kind of game for them. But Georgia does not want to give up a touchdown here. You've got 53 seconds. They got the ball at the 23-yard line. And their whole goal was to disrupt the rhythm of Ty Simpson, and they've not been able to do that very much at all in his first half.
Conventional run game really hasn't worked well so far, but a lot of creativity from Grubb and a lot of playmakers involved, and a very hot point guard so far in Simpson. Miller is the back here. Simpson straight back against the four-man rush. Again, rolls, fires on the move. Flag down in the secondary as Bernard made the catch. Forced out of bounds inside the 20. We'll sort the flag out.
It looked like it was a hold in the secondary.
Defense, number 6. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well,
Dalen Everett.
Everett missed a tackle, and now he ends up holding Ryan Williams, who is on a route ahead of where the ball went to Bernard, right to the right there. He just gets grabbed and locked up. Good catch by the official. Bad break for Georgia. Bama, forget the field goal. 46 seconds. They have moved the ball right down the field.
You're right, Kirk. 62 yards in less than a minute and a half here without that timeout to work with.
They're looking for that 2-for-1 score here and get the ball to start the second half.
Bernard stacked in the slot to the right, and they move an offensive or a tight end out there, and now Georgia saw that little wrinkle. Cuevas was going to go out. There's going to be 4 guys for Alabama on that right side, and they spend it. Kirby knows this is a crucial part of this game.
It sure is. Ryan Grubb, what a job of preparing his quarterback. What a job of mixing up different looks. You're right, they've not been able to run the ball. You know, only 53 yards running, but because they have a quarterback that's seeing the field so well, they mixed up those looks. I mean, how many different guys has he thrown to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different targets have reception in this first half.
Interesting, Kirk. A couple of years ago when Grubb was there, they threw it for 336 a game with Milroe. He goes to the Seahawks last year, not in the top 50 in pass offense. Now he comes back, and you're seeing why he and Kalen DeBoer have been linked so closely throughout their careers.
A lot of evidence of success. I think a lot of people panicked after they saw the opener against Florida State and said, what the heck's going on with who's this quarterback? Who's the new coordinator? I think these last few weeks, we've seen a very different Alabama offense. Another little wrinkle here. Moving Cam Miller. They go empty. Miller's out to the left.
They got Caden Proctor, the big tackle on the left side. They're going to throw it to him. Big fella. Barreling downhill. Proctor marshaling down near the pylon. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I feel so bad for Kyron Jones, the poor safety, 31, that tried to come up and make a tackle. He just dove at his ankles. No chance to bring the big fella down. Watch 31 come up here, Chris. He sees 360 pounds. He just dives, misses. Look at the big fella, keeping a balance.
How about that? We've got backs and receivers blocking for the tackle in the role reversal.
But right on cue with Ryan Grubb and the wrinkles and the different looks.
First and goal without a timeout. Little urgency here to get
up over here, Chris.
Simpson on the move. He's going to keep it and score. Creative, efficient. And Simpson says, hush now. Alabama stretches the lead before halftime. Another 75-yard drive.
It started with his pregame speech to his team. You can see the Georgia fans, they don't know what to think right now. But everybody better pay attention to Ty Simpson, quarterback at Alabama. This guy's not only a distributor. He may not be Jalen Milroe running around with that kind of speed. But I'll tell you what, if you don't account for him, he's going to make plays with his legs.
No doubt. And add to the list of playmakers, a 360-pound tackle, Caden Proctor. That was fun. Flag on the PAT. You practice stuff like that. They always work the gimmick plays. Is he dare going to call it against Georgia on the road? Yes, he is.
I tell you who told me they're going to call it. Holly Rowe.
She did.
Pregame. She came over with her board and her notes, and she said, hey, just so you know, look out for 74. In practice, they're doing some stuff, throwing the ball. I said, okay, all right.
Holly, by the way, who's working WNBA playoffs, took time out to go to practice down there, Holly.
Leverage, defense, number 94. He's throwing the back of the opponent. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The kick is good.
Holly, this you told us about it. I don't know if you were going to show this replay, but I think all of America, there's Jones. Jones is like, what do I do? I'm just diving. I'm just diving. I got no shot against 360 pounds. I don't know if he was a running back in Pee Wee. He's showing some pretty good instincts here as a big fella running with a football. And then here's the touchdown. Talked about you got to worry about all these receivers, the different guys going in different directions. He's got an open man there in the back line, but instead goes the easy route and just gets to the corner for the touchdown.
Appreciate your prep, Holly. Really do.
Guys, yeah, it's so cool, too. What's really cool about Caden Proctor's touchdown right there, I was standing at practice with Kalen DeBoer, and he got this sheet from the strength and conditioning staff. Caden Proctor has been on a 9-week weight loss goal, and he achieved that goal on Wednesday. He's down to a svelte 359. They're rewarding the big fella with that nice touchdown run or touchdown catch there. So I thought that was a cool story, too.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, Holly, after 9 weeks, you got to reward him, right? That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah, he sets up the touchdown. It was a rough start for him, okay? He's a road grader as a run blocker. His pass pro was not good against Florida State. He gave up a lot of pressures in that game, and I had a point to prove. Worked hard on trying to clean up some of that stuff. I think he's got size 21 shoes. Those are big feet to get moving.
Probably an E, too.
Kick goes bouncing down there. Branch will be swarmed at the 12-yard line. Again, here's a reminder about this guy who wears the C in his jersey, but is a first-year starter. Simpson getting his guys ready to go to battle here in this hostile environment.
Everybody in here wants us to lose. Hey, I got something they don't know. I got something they don't know. I got the Crimson Tide on my back. Huh? I got the Crimson Tide on my side. Go do what we do today. Hey, let's dominate every aspect of football. You got me. B-side 5, B-side 5, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You say those words and you back it up. It's only 30 minutes, but you back it up. People start paying attention, including guys in your own locker room start paying attention. It's one thing to do it against inferior opponents. You carry that kind of fight onto the road in an SEC game against a rival like this and play like that way.
Yeah, words are awesome. Deeds are better, right, when you back it up. 192 passing yards for Simpson and a rushing touchdown in the first half. Check it down there. Chauncey Bowens is going to be knocked down by Lawson.
I got news for us. This game is far from over. I mean, it's one thing to be hyping up what's going on, but we got 30 more minutes, and we know what Georgia does in the second half and how they can fight back. Remember what they did last year in this game when they were trailing at half.
And so many other matchups. It feels like the first half just really sets the stage for the 30 minutes to follow.
Yeah.
Holly?
Well, Coach, your offense is off to a great rhythmic start. What stands out about Ty Simpson's operating this offense?
Yeah, he's doing a great job seeing things, seeing the pressure, stepping up and making throw, especially when we need him critical times.
Thank you so much, Coach. Let's check in with Laura with Kirby.
All right, Kirby, how would you describe the way that first half ended?
When it ended or the way the whole thing went? We can't get off the field on third down. We got no chance to get off the field on third down. They're executing better than we're playing, and their quarterback's really hot, doing a great job. We can't get off the field on third down, but the end right there, we didn't play good 2-minute defense. They drove the ball down, made a big score.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Chris.
Yeah, you can tell Smart disappointed, but as he knows, his team fights back like nobody, and a 10-point halftime deficit won't make them flinch. Halftime in Athens. Tied up by 10. The Ford halftime report went to Kevin, Booger, and Dan in the studio.
Chris, thank you.
Another classic in the making, perhaps. Welcome back to the SEC on ABC. Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Capital One. Part of the SEC All Day, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. Alabama struck quickly. 2 long touchdown drives. Georgia, of course, fought back. But Dogs, with that 33-game home field win streak on the line, find themselves down 10 at the break. Alabama gets the football, Kirk. Over the years, we've seen Kirby Smart be the master of halftime adjustments to kind of get his defense going. What can he do tonight here to turn this around?
Well, I think first thing you have to do is get back to your bread and butter, which is defense. They have not been able to get Ty Simpson and the Alabama offense off the field. They've got to be able to get them into obvious passing situations, which means you got to bow up on first and second down and get them to those 3rd and 7s and 3rd and 8s. Again, if you're just tuning in, Ty Simpson and Bama, 9 of 11, and a quarterback unfazed, no pressure at all, thanks to that offensive line play.
Bama doing this without really a conventional running attack. They've fed the tailbacks, but it hasn't been big plays from those. When they use him as a receiver, and Jam Miller accelerates around the edge. The backs as receivers have been effective tonight.
It's almost like Ryan Grubb is just one step ahead of Kirby Smart and Glenn Schumann with his play calling and with the designs of the different looks that he's giving them. It seems like Ty Simpson always seems to have an answer. And they start the second half with his first play, getting Jam Miller out in the flat there all alone for a first down. It's the 7th different pass catcher now in this game, spreading it around.
And they hand the ball inside to Miller, who spins for about 4. Laura, what do you have?
Well, Kurt's talking about defensive adjustments for Georgia, and Glenn Schumann, the defensive coordinator, has been really emphasizing the D-line, telling them they have to do anything to get in Ty Simpson's face, to make him uncomfortable, saying they need to help out the back end by affecting him as quickly as possible, and noting they have to do it fast because he's getting the ball out so quickly.
It's an athletic defensive front, not as big as some other recent Georgia defenses, but they like these guys.
Yeah, 52 Miller right in the middle. He's the anchor. He's got to be able to be the guy that kind of sets the tone and makes a difference.
Bernard in the backfield. They hand it to the receiver. If you can even call him that, he's just Mr. Everything. And he scoots around the edge for a first down in Georgia territory. Holly, what do you have from the other side?
Well, as Kalen DeBoer's team was coming out of the tunnel, he stood there and met every single player as they came out onto the field, and he was yelling at them, move with purpose, mindset. That has been their theme all week long, whether they were going from a meeting to a film session, move with purpose. He wants them to come out with that same mindset that got them off to a good start early in this game. One other note, gwes-eas is out for the rest of the game with a lower leg injury.
One of the edge rushers in that Alabama defense. Thanks, Holly. So first down, tied quickly in Georgia territory. And they hand it off to Kevin Riley, who's playing an important role tonight. He picks up about 4 on first down.
Yeah, good job. You got 2 backs now that Miller's healthy to be able to keep them both fresh. What I'm seeing here, I saw in the first half, they're attacking the edges. Whether it's jet sweeps to Bernard, whether it's quick throws, they saw Jam Miller out in the flat. Attack the edges of this Georgia defense.
Riley motions back in. They hand it to him. And Sutter steps, falls forward. A short gain there will set up a third down. We'll see if the Tide can continue the incredibly efficient conversion on third down. They were 8 for their first 8, 9 for 11 at this point.
And the reason they've been able to be effective is they've averaged about 5 yards to go on third down. So they've been staying on schedule for the most part. But even when it has been obvious passing situations, again, let's not forget to continue to talk about the play of this offensive line and the consistency they've played with throughout the communication. It's been outstanding, especially on the road here in Athens.
Stayed in the huddle a long time. Play clock down at 2. Simpson zips it, complete across the middle. Caleb Edwards is a true freshman tight end that they think has a big future. Picks up 17.
Watch the head of Simpson and watch him move the linebacker with his eyes. Moves him, comes right back. Easy throw because of the job that he did in manipulating the coverage. Knew exactly where he wanted to go. That passing lane opened up, and the true freshman Edwards makes the catch for another conversion on third down.
He's a large human. He's a basketball player as well as football. 6'6", one of 7 guys they signed out of California in the most recruiting cycle. It's a departure from the past, big time, from the 25. Simpson flips it short, and that time they're all over the screen as Miller is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Play made by Justin Williams.
Heck of a play by Justin Williams. He's a rotational linebacker that'll come in occasionally for C.J. Allen. They get him out there. He's small, but plays with great instincts, and we saw it right there.
Georgia does their job. They haven't done it often, but Bama behind the sticks here. Another interesting formation. It's Bernard. Motions back in. He takes the pitch. He's got some blockers on the right side, but Georgia strings it out well. He still escapes. Could have been trapped behind the line. Ellis Robinson and KJ Bolden force him out.
And that's a much better job by Georgia flowing to the football and getting off of blocks. Like Chris, you said, he's got 3 guys out in front of him. But look at the red jerseys. There's a nice willing contributor there, Ellis Robinson, who missed a big tackle earlier. This time helped set the edge there as the corner. Nowhere for Bernard to go. And a good job of swarming to the football to get now another 3rd down. Can they get to Simpson off his spot?
One of the more challenging 3rd downs they've had, though, needing 11. See if the Dogs bring pressure. Empty backfield. No, they don't. Simpson rolls and fires near sideline. Incomplete. That was Josh GWES who slipped down. And here comes the field goal team.
Yeah, they didn't dial it up. They had a little bit of a stunt up front to try to affect him, but Simpson just got forced out of the pocket just a bit. There's just nobody open. They sat back for the most part and played zone there, and no one there open, slipped, and attempt the field goal.
Talty made a chip shot earlier, this from 43, to make it a 13-point lead. No, duck hooked badly. And the Tide move it 9 plays, but come up empty, and the lead remains 10. That was not pretty. For the Dogs, defense eventually gets the stop. Gunnar Stockton and company back to work trying to cut into this 10-point lead. Coach Prime and the Buffaloes at home in Folsom Field, which has become a pretty electric atmosphere in these night games. Underdogs against BYU, the 2-2 Buffs. That's over on ESPN.
Yeah, this will be a good one. They had a nice win last week. Get back home. BYU undefeated. Can't wait to get this one done. Get back to the phone and the app and watch that one later tonight.
Stockton looking to throw on first. Rolls and zips it short to Bowens. He's knocked down after about a 6-yard gain.
Gunnar Stockton, a quiet night so far. Doesn't mean he's not capable of any minute. He and his offense getting going. Just 7-11 for 85 yards.
Does have a rushing touchdown. The passing game has not clicked like it did in Knoxville. The one long pass to Young beating single coverage. Dylan Bell in motion. It's a reverse. They fake it, and Bell's off and running. Dylan Bell knifing deep into the Alabama defense all the way down to the 25. The man who put Georgia ahead in last year's epic. Late.
Chris, the reason this went for such a big play is the reaction by the safety. He follows the double reverse, and so he's able to cut back. That's 3 right there who went in the other direction and responded to this fake to Branch. They're so focused on Branch that they forgot that Dylan Bell has that ability as well.
But a quiet start of the season for Dylan Bell, who's very versatile, as you can see, can move for a big man. Bowens around the edge, and the Dogs fighting right back here. Jackson forced him out here in the red zone.
You know, sometimes it's not about Gunnar Stockton or the quarterback in the pass game. We kind of all get used to that being the case. Tonight it's Georgia's running the ball. Bowens is averaging 13 yards a carry. You just saw the big run by Dylan Bell. Nate Frazier, when he's had it, over 7 yards a carry. So it's been more about the run game tonight that's really affecting Bama's defense.
Bowens has it. This time they plug it up. This is a team that has different ways to beat you. It was the downfield plays against Tennessee, and then eventually the power running game late took charge in overtime. But DeBoer's defense, Kane Womack having a hard time dealing with this Georgia run game.
Yeah, and Womack there, that last play, he had 9 guys up at the line of scrimmage, almost daring Georgia to have to throw the ball.
Bill Lamagna down there. Couldn't hear what Kyle Olson was saying. I believe he said the play was under review.
Got to be looking at a targeting call.
Bowens was hit there. Coming in from the left was big LT Overton, key part of that defensive line. Looks like maybe the booth buzzed it down and initiated this review. Bill, what do you see there?
They're looking to see, obviously, if he's got a crown of the helmet on the runner. And the crown of the helmet does come in initially.
I think it's 23, James Smith, the other side. It looked like Overton, but then that next Alabama defender was 23. That it did look like he lowered the crown.
So that was James Smith. You think they're looking at, Bill, the second hit?
Yeah, 23 on the hit.
And Bill, just for the fans, when it comes to the crown, it doesn't matter where he hits the ball.
Technically, head to your toes. You come in leading with the crown of the helmet, forcible contact.
Because I think a lot of fans are saying he hit him in the chest, and they just say, you know, how's that targeting?
No, it's targeting regardless of where you got it.
Here it is. Watch to the left here. As Smith comes in.
And that's to protect that rule. We've talked about it for years. That's for all about the defender and protecting them.
After video review, there was targeting by defense. Number 23. That's half the distance to the goal. First down. Number 23 is disqualified from the game.
And of course, he'll miss the first half next week against Vanderbilt, who's, by the way, undefeated with Clark Lee, Diego Pavia.
Meantime, that moves the football to the 5-yard line. Talked about Quay Russo. One of that front seven is already out of the game injured. He will not return, and now Smith is out. Edric Hill, defensive tackle, steps into that starting position. McCray is the back. And McCray reaching for the goal line, spotted just short. Big man quickly downhill. Dogs want to play with some tempo here on 2nd and goal.
Just short.
And now a whistle. This is no play.
Prior to the snap, replay initiated a review of the previous play. The ruling on the field was the runner was short of the goal line.
Kirby can't believe it. I mean, they wanted to play with tempo and punch it in here. John Allman is replay official. This pretty clearly wasn't touchdown.
He reaches, but the ball is just short by about, you know, just an inch or two. But yeah, I'm with you. And replay's trying to do their job, trying to make sure, trying to give Georgia maybe an opportunity to get the touchdown. But he is short, and now you've got the stop in action. Bama can go over and get some water, talk about it, and takes away from Georgia going with that up-tempo to try to punch it in real quick.
Get the naked eye just be good enough
After
sometimes.
After video review, the ruling on the field is upheld. 2nd down.
The crowd booing, but Georgia is inches away here.
Real opportunity for momentum swing here. The missed field goal by Alabama to start the half with the ball. So they missed their opportunity for points, and Gunnar Stockton and Georgia, they're moving it right down in a hurry and see if they finish this drive off. This stadium will come back to become a factor in this game. They've been away since Bama jumped out early, up 14 on them.
You said it. It sure has been a hurry. It's been a ground-oriented drive at less than 3 minutes to move it 73 yards. McCray back in there. Got it again. And fight stretches, touchdown. McCray and the Dogs do slice into the lead.
Pretty good collision there just before the goal line. The safety, Keon Sapp, came up, but the hard running there of Josh McCray, he would not be denied. He's their short yardage goal line back. He bounces it right there's the collision. He's not quite in, but good effort. You see 41 Hill Green getting in there too, but well, he's a handful.
He fought off 2 guys. These teams both done a great job of responding. That was Georgia's turn. The lead is down to 3 midway third quarter. Power football by the Dogs. Flex by McCray at the goal line. Midway third quarter here in Athens. Dr. Pepper transporting us to Fansville. Every day is Saturday, and everyone is a college football fan. Certainly feels like that down in these parts. Georgia fans stunned early. They don't usually see opponents threaten them here, like much less win. Again, it's 33 in a row at home. Kirby Smart has never lost a home night game as Georgia's head coach. And the deficit quickly cut back to 3.
If you're going to beat them, you got to go full 60. I mean, it's we celebrated them, Bama for 30, but I'm sure Kalen DeBoer was telling his guys, we know the deal. We saw it last year against Kirby's guys. We know they're just getting started, so we got to match the enthusiasm and the execution of this second half that they're going to play with.
The full 60 and then some. Because it's taken an overtime before in this series, and of course was last ball game against Tennessee. Here's a touchback. Cal State Bus and our trusted driver Sam Mitchell motoring around Athens, keeping us up to date with what's going on a wild weekend. What's your All-State good hands play this weekend?
Well, we're going to go back to last night. What a shocker. Jason Prevard ends up coming up with this interception. Looked like Florida State may have a chance there to get a score in that second overtime, but congrats to Tony Elliott. What a win for Virginia, sitting there at 4-1. Very easily could be undefeated. It's amazing the job that Tony Elliott has done since he left Dabo as an OC and took over in Charlottesville as a head coach. Congrats to Tony.
Knowles hosting the Canes next Saturday night on ABC. All right, can Alabama respond? The lead down to 3. Simpson looking to throw on first down. It's a wide throw to Bernard, who gets a block on the edge. And Jeremy Bernard has to continue to attack the perimeter of Georgia effectively.
Yeah, they've been doing it all game long. He's now 8 of 9 getting the ball out there on these screen games. About 120 yards. And they've been starting a lot of the drives with those quick shots out on the perimeter just to get some positive yards. And if you got space out there, you might as well take it.
Wiley in the game now on 2nd and 6. Bernard again coming across in motion. Wiley's got it, and he'll be dragged down. Big tackle there. Quintavious Johnson just grabbed him and slammed him down for no gain.
Yeah, but the flag came in right at the tackle, so I don't know if they're going to get a horse collar possibly, but they threw the flag right where he made that tackle.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense.
Yeah, it's right there. Grabs a hold of the back of the jersey.
That's textbook, isn't it?
And it is textbook. But, I mean, I was with you because they've been waiting on Johnson to be a guy that's more disruptive, and he's in position, but he gets the right hand up and pulls down on the jersey. So what turned out could have been a huge play for Georgia. Now they get a new set of downs for the Crimson Tide.
Penalties at this point have not been a huge factor, 3 for each team. But that gets the Tide up and running here at the 44.
Yeah, that's a 3rd and 6. If he just makes the tackle, now it's 1st and 10.
Wiley, deep handoff. They've been pretty patient with the running game. The backs haven't really been able to bust loose yet. They continue to test the Dogs' middle, though.
Yeah, well, I think that's all part of what Brian Grubb wants to do. So much is on the perimeter, but you got to be honest and still body blow them. You got to work the middle, not just work out with these different unique formations, work on the perimeter.
Wiley only goes 190 pounds. He's shown some toughness running inside tonight. He's got it again, trying to get to the edge, just follows his blockers, and he'll be knocked down about a yard and a half short of the marker.
You see William Sanders is in there right now playing at left guard. He pulled around, made a a heck of a block along with the center, Parker Brailsford. Again, cannot say enough about the offensive line play tonight from Alabama.
Again, handoff. Riley not going to get there. If anything, he lost a half yard on third down. Simpson already lobbying to go for it here on fourth. Ja'Cory Thomas, safety spot, made the play.
And Thomas came up to clean it up, but C.J. Allen navigated his way through. The double team wasn't able to get up to him, and he's a big part of their run-stopping defense. It's a huge play here for both teams.
Aggressive. Some coaches might try to punt it and pin him deep. DeBoer, for now, has the offense out there. Miller is the back. Play clock at 1. It was disorganized from the start, and Quatavius Johnson makes the play. The operation wasn't clean, and the result was disastrous, and the Dogs take over.
That's one of the first times we've seen the crowd impact this Alabama offense. Chris, you're all over it with the play clock. The 3, 2, and 1, they just get the snap off. It was like the timing and the rhythm and the execution. There at the bottom of 3, 2, 1. Oh, it could have been a delay. But instead, miscommunication between the quarterback and the back, Jam Miller.
They've been so efficient on third and fourth. A delay would have been better than the result of the play.
And finally, the Georgia defense makes a play to get the ball back, and they got it right around midfield with a huge opportunity.
Phillips on the toss sweep. Tackled around the ankles after a 2-yard gain by Hubbard.
Bray Hubbard has been everywhere tonight for Alabama. You talk about being physical. Watch him come up and run support. You want to hit somebody? Watch this. 16, London Humphreys, bang! Then he's going to make the tackle. I mean, that is just a guy that's wanting to be out there hitting people.
Punched the ball out of Frazier's hand earlier, which set up a field goal for the Tide. 2nd and 9. Stockton launches downfield and strike and dropped by Taylon Taylor. The true freshman had a touchdown and couldn't hold on.
Holy smokes, did they miss an opportunity? The safety, Keon Sabb, 3, just gets completely lost. He was not on the same page with the rest of the defense. So there's a breakdown. We saw Ryan Williams miss a touchdown right down the middle of the field. And now the true freshman, Taylor for Georgia, drops 6 points.
See how big that is on third down. Off the hands, incomplete. Instead of leading the football game with a touchdown pass, it's now 4th and 9, and the potential waste of the stop they just made on 4th down.
Both these coaches talked to us this week about there's going to be adversity. You know, how do we handle adversity? There's going to be momentum back and forth. Kalen DeBoer, he's so frustrated with his team and the way Florida State, it was like they got a little timid. He's like, guys, we got to respond. Same thing for Kirby Smart. Yeah, they missed a touchdown. Then they missed a third down conversion. It's a long game. You got to just put it behind you. Just keep swinging.
Bama only had 10 guys out there on the punt return. Team ran a man out very late, and the fair catch is made by Adams back inside the 10. Plot twists and turns. This should have been Georgia on top. Instead, the lead remains 3. Final 3 minutes of the third quarter.
Capital One cardholders can redeem their credit card rewards for tickets to exclusive events and experiences on Capital One Entertainment. Scan the code to learn more. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Musical history. That's where Peter Buck met a guy called Michael Stipe when they formed REM here in 1980. Mike Mills, my buddy in the band, can't be here tonight. He's touring with his band baseball project. I got to text him. We're missing a good one. For the Tide, after the defense makes the stop, aided by that dropped pass, pinned back at the 8. Not quite as efficient as they were at the start of the game. Simpson from the goal line launches downfield over the head of Bernard. who was being chased in coverage that time. So first down shot doesn't pay off.
Now that's their 11th snap of empty from Alabama, and look where they are right now. Good coverage there by the safety Thomas. Look where they are right now, right in front of the loudest part of this stadium, in front of the student section, and you go empty with 5 offensive linemen, trusting the quarterback and the offensive line. Execute.
Yeah, just getting louder by the second here. Again, the play clock is a factor here. Down at 3. They just get it off. And there's a short completion. Rico Scott. Nope, now they say incomplete. Didn't quite hold it long enough. The Dogs, C.J. Allen is specifically attacking the football. So it's going to be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I think the fans thought it was maybe a fumble, but C.J. Allen, you're getting stretched. When you go empty, and that time they motion it back out, they're trying to create the space back into the inside of this Georgia defense. Asking C.J. Allen, the middle linebacker, who weighs in at about 240 pounds, to be able to make a play in space. That time he did.
Simpson again using the clock to make adjustments from his end zone. Launches a long ball, incomplete. They tried to find Ryan Williams, who was covered over there by Ellis Robinson. 3 incompletions, 3 and out.
We'll have to ask Bill here, but it looked like contact by Ellis Robinson. 1 on the slot. Watch the outside cut. Robinson never sees the ball. Bill, what do you think of that? No call.
I have early contact.
No, it looked like contact.
I would have supported it.
I don't think he ever saw the football, and he just kind of ran into the back of Ryan Williams.
Went through the back.
Surprised they didn't make a call there.
So Blake down in his end zone. Zachariah Branch up near midfield. It's not a great kick. Branch is going to come up and make a fair catch at the 46. So Georgia with good field position. Another chance to perhaps claim the lead here. Taco Bell Liv Mas student section. Contenders for the national championship. Only one can win it. Iowa State won it last year.
Well, Georgia played field position. They punted. They got to stop. Now they get the ball again. Close to midfield. Missed a dropped touchdown pass to the true freshman Taylor. But they do get the ball back, just down by 3.
Pitch on the edge. Colby Young. First guy doesn't often get him down. He spun free, picked up about 3.
For a guy 6'4", he's a guy that's 6'4", and 215 pounds. Sometimes they get into traffic and they don't break tackles. This guy, he breaks through a lot of arm tackles. Tough runner after the catch.
With the big touchdown reception on the go route earlier. They fake it to Bowen. Stockton flushed out and tries to escape. He's going to duck down on the Alabama side of the field with Edric Hill closing in. Picked up 3. 3rd down coming up.
Watch Delp work through the middle of this defense. If he has time, look at this. Look at this open up right there. Instead, he gets flushed and has to get out. But that, we haven't seen a tight end make a catch tonight. That time, Delp opened up in the intermediate there against this defense of Bama.
Also haven't seen Georgia convert on 3rd down tonight. Another chance here. Stockton running all the way, and they will finally convert as Gunnar Stockton gets the edge. They lost contain out there. He scoots around the left end. Big game, picked up 21.
Well, 10, Justin Jefferson has got to be able to work to the outside and not let that ball bounce. He gets caught up in traffic. Good job by 57 Freeling, but a quicker reaction from 10 Jefferson would have been able to allow him to prevent that big play. That's their 5th run today of over 20 yards.
They got over 200 rushing yards as a team. Bowens, he's able to get the edge. Knocked out of bounds by Hubbard after picking up about 4 or 5. Final minute of the quarter now.
Staying on the ground, kind of sprinkling in the pass game. Haven't had a lot of opportunities to be able to make big plays. It's such a different game for Georgia than a year ago when they faced Alabama. They faced so much man-to-man coverage, and they made a lot of big plays in the pass game in that second half. Tonight, Georgia's facing a lot more zone from Kane Womack. So they've had to rely more on the ground game.
You do so again. Bowens has a hole, barrels forward. It's going to be a first down inside the 20. Mean machine in the red and black, Kirk. This is a flex you've seen many times, and the fourth quarter is going to decide it. Final seconds ticking away. Georgia will not snap it. It was dominance in the third quarter. Alabama missed the field goal early. Georgia, 2 chances here to take the lead now. Down 7. End of 3. Back after this message that we're for your local ABC station. You're watching the SEC on ABC. Set for the fourth quarter. Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One on ABC. Dogs in the Tide, as they always do, battling back and forth. In the fourth quarter, or perhaps beyond, will decide this game. Now, they reviewed that spot on the run by Bowens. It was ruled a first down in the end of the quarter. Looks like that nothing they saw was going to change that. So it's going to be Georgia set up with a first down to the Alabama 17.
Can't help but go back to our call this week with Mike Bobo and the offensive coordinator with Georgia. And he said, I've got to be stubborn tonight on Saturday about running the football. We've got to body blow them no matter what's going on in this game. We've got to be able to lean on them and try to wear them down so we get them to the fourth quarter. All those runs start to really pay off for us. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and they've been running the ball really well.
Georgia, when they've been in the red zone, 2 for 2 converting touchdowns. They haven't led yet tonight. McCray bounces free, wrestled down, but not before he picked up about 7.
Keep in mind, Juan Gaston is a true freshman playing at right tackle. Donnie Glover is a true freshman playing at right guard, being asked to do a lot of work. His young guys had only been on this campus for not that long in a heavyweight matchup. Keep an eye on that right side and see how they hold up.
James Smith, one of the starters up front for the Tide, of course, ejected earlier for targeting. The depth is depleted a bit. Huge hit delivered in the hole there, and that time the Tide stopped him for absolutely nothing. Green met McCray and wouldn't allow anything.
Yeah, we just talked about the right side of the offensive line. These freshmen, and they're very talented, but there gives you just a little small indication about how small these angles can be and how quickly these defenders from Alabama can get downhill on those freshmen on that right side.
And through the smoke from the pyrotechnics at the end of the quarter, Georgia tries to convert here on 3rd and 3. Cash Jones is in the game. It's a keeper for Stockton. Stockton slips inside of a tackler. He's spotted right near the marker. Keon Sabb had a chance to drop it behind the line, couldn't do so. Where they're spotting it, looks like 4th down, Kirk.
And they're going to go fast here. Here they go. Ball's already ready to be snapped.
It's happening quickly. It's an enormous play. Cash Jones is going to be hit behind the line. L.T. Overton makes a huge play for this Tide defense, and they preserve the lead in the red zone.
What an effort to be able to make that play. And on that right side, L.T. Overton splits the 2 freshmen that we just talked about. Could have an impact down in that red zone area. How are they going to hold up? Well, here they are. 22 is right here across from them. Splits them. Not fooled at all by the tempo. Gets just enough on Cash Jones, who's usually a 3rd down back that slides out of the backfield. How about the play by 22?
Great play by Overton. Hindsight says, do you use tempo there? Is that the time to try to play fast? They didn't execute well. And Alabama from the 11. As possession was their first 3 and out of the night, 3 incompletions. This time they feed Riley. It's been really hard to run in the middle of that Jones defense tonight.
Georgia, really good job at his second level. LT Overton earned that oxygen after that play. With the second level, this defense against this run game taking it away. They're going to go back to that empty to try to stretch out Georgia's defense, try to create some space back into the middle.
Riley split out far to the left. 4-man rush, pitch downfield, contested battle. It was incomplete. Bernard was defended very well that time by Jones.
Good job, Gabe Harris, getting some pressure. We've not seen that a lot. Finally affecting the quarterback. As soon as he throws the football, you can see 2 defenders there. Griffin, the freshman, along with Gabe Harris, forced him to get that ball out of his hands a little bit quicker than he wanted.
Everything efficient and clean for Simpson early. He's cooled off, as has this Alabama offense. Need 8 to get the drive going. 4 receivers off to the left. Simpson delivers that side, and the catch is made by Ryan Williams, who takes a big blow from Everett, but moves the sticks.
They sat back in zone, eyes on the quarterback to be able to react quickly. Bernard 5's been getting most of the attention, so sneak it back out to number 2, Ryan Williams. And there's the toughness. Dropped a catch earlier, had a few drops earlier this year. And then this time, when it really mattered, comes up clutch for the Tide and his quarterback.
Added a little bit of weight, but he's still slightly built at 178. Crucial conversion for Alabama to try to get this offense humming again. Miller off the right edge. Again, not much. Picks up about 3.
Yeah, nothing else. You get that ball away with that conversion from the shadows of your own goal line and have to punt it. So you get a new set of downs, continue to work this clock with a 3-point lead, and continue to try to find, they're not going to take their foot off the gas. It's not the time in a game where you start thinking about running the ball just to run it to work clock. They're going to continue to try to find matchups that they like. Isaiah Norton, Bernard, 2, and also Ryan Williams.
Bernard hurt Georgia in the first half. They defended him very well lately. He moves over to the left slot. Simpson right over the middle, and it's caught out near midfield. Delivered a dart to Isaiah Horton, and they pick up 21.
But with Bernard clearing this, you get the dig coming across, and the whole thing is you got to figure out where the linebacker is if you're the quarterback. You got to find that window, and good protection allows him to throw that to find that second window. They clear the safety, create that space, and he was very decisive with his read and accuracy.
That second level throw. Not many guys in college football can deliver that better than Ty Simpson's doing right now.
All night.
Under center now. Play clock down at 2. Play action, and it's wide open to the tight end, Cuevas. Little rhythm back all of a sudden. They get that conversion to Williams. This looks like how they looked early.
They've been running so many plays out of the shotgun. This time they get him under center. You're going to think they're going to hand it off to Riley on 1st and 10. Instead, they break that tendency, boot him out, and nobody picks up Cuevas there in that flat. So really good play call there. Caught Georgia's defense completely off guard.
So important to break those tendencies in big moments. Georgia too smart if you're predictable.
Ryan Williams right here.
Yeah, he's in the backfield along with Riley. And there's a false start.
Offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Gino Vandenberg. Holly?
Well, that rhythm for Ty Simpson is something he's really been working on since week 1. They felt like he wasn't strong in his progressions. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He said, if I was late to my 1, I wasn't accelerating fast enough to get to my 2nd and 3rd read. It's something he and Ryan Grubb have been working on to get on time, accelerate faster. 1, 2, 3, and we're seeing that rhythm right now.
His feet are the most important thing, and he's had great rhythm tonight, Holly. Eyes and feet have been connected.
Another empty backfield. 1st and 15 after the penalty. Dogs bring some pressure. Flips short. And Williams in traffic. He's a catch and he's tackled very quickly.
Just not his game in traffic. You know, he's usually downfield or catching the ball underneath. Kind of fakes like he's going out, comes back underneath. Look at 44, chasing that from behind. Heck of a play by Jordan Hall, showing some really good instincts to not let Ryan Williams get started there.
Jonah Jonze provided the pressure there. 2nd and 13. End around, and as Bernard knocked out of bounds, actually he's tackled inbounds. The 40, it's going to be a 3rd down and about 6 here for the Tide. It's already been an important drive. Moved it from, as you said, the shadow of their goal line in 8 plays. Can they keep it going here? Wiley in the ball game, but not in the backfield.
This kid Brooks, the freshman, dangerous.
Simpson, deep drop, well protected, fires downfield, and it's incomplete. Tried to find Isaiah Horton. Well defended and broken up by Jones, and it's 4th down.
Well, we were just talking about how he's been throwing in rhythm and doing a good job. If that ball is out now, he's got at least a chance, but by the time that ball is thrown, it gives Jones enough time to be able to catch up. You go frame by frame, you can see the left hand there grabbing onto the jersey, but a no call on the field. That's a tough thing to see. We can see it up here frame by frame, but I don't know. What do you think, Bill? That's a tough call to make in this game.
Philosophy-wise, we say that's bang, bang, and leave it alone.
Yep.
Blake down, drops that point, kicks it high, and it's going to be down at about the 5-yard line. So Alabama able to flip the field. Georgia will take over deep in their territory. 8:10 to play.
Here's the AT&T connected clicker. Go back to this play by Jordan Hall here earlier on this last drive. This is potentially a touchdown if he doesn't show the instincts to follow the center Brailsford to this screen. Look at the alley that Ryan Williams has. If, in fact, that play is not defended as well as it was, look at that alley. He has blockers, but because Hall came off of the rush, made that play, showed the instincts, that play gets blown up and eventually forces Alabama to have to punt the football back to Georgia.
It's a great look at a play that could be overlooked, but could have been game-changing.
Big time.
He not made that tackle. So Georgia from the 5. End around to Branch, and the speedster contributes to the run game by picking up close to 10, getting the drive going before Sabb forced him out.
How much fun is he? I mean, we always expect Ryan Williams to be the fleet-footed receiver in this game when he gets his hands on the ball, but Zachariah Branch coming over from USC. We saw him mainly as a return specialist at SC, but Georgia's done such a good job of utilizing his skills as a receiver, especially on jet sweeps like that or just a quick screen game.
Quiet night so far, but he can change that in a hurry with his speed. Handoff inside. Bowens bouncing off people. There's a flag in that offensive line area. This one's going to set the Dogs back, I think.
Holding. Offense. Number 55. Half the distance of the goal. Remains first down.
Hughley. And stepping in, Ernest Green can't go. It's been mix and match on that offensive front.
Yeah, Gaston's been in there. Hughley's been in there. That time an obvious hold there by the right tackle. So they had, well, they had the big play by Branch to start the drive. Looks like another positive play. And now you go backwards behind the sticks. 7:35 to go in this game, down 3. Trying to get away from their own goal line here.
And such a different looking Georgia offense in that shootout in Knoxville when Stockton had a 300-yard passing game. Big plays all over the place. At the one big play to Young early, really nothing through the air since. There's a check down and wrestled down at the 15-yard line. Justin Jefferson got Bowens to the ground.
It's going to be tough for Gunnar Stockton and Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, to come up with a play to get the ball downfield, because Kane Womack right now against Bobo is saying, hey, let's try to attack up front. Let's keep our safeties back. Remember that one touchdown pass they gave up? Blitzed. Corners were on islands. Nobody back to help out. Now they're doing the opposite. They're trying to keep these safeties back as much as they can.
2nd and 9. Stockton is going to be swarmed, trying to overcome that early holding penalty, and now they're going to be behind the sticks on 3rd down. Edric Hill and Tim Keenan dropped him for a loss.
Good job at dialing up kind of that mixed look by Alabama's defense. Some twists up front, kind of a zone pressure. Without elite pass rushers, Kane Womack has to get creative with his pressures. Different kind of looks. Fool the offensive line and the quarterback as much as they can.
Tide not showing pressure here on 3rd and long. They rush 4. Stockton launches, and the catch is made. Squeezing it in there. Zachariah Branch beginning to make a big impact here. Picked up 22.
Watch Hubbard right here trying to read the quarterback's eyes. Watch, and he goes right over top of him to make that throw. What a job of getting that ball in, over top of Hubbard, and then back down to Branch.
Who got pinballed by 2 different defenders and holds on. What a conversion on 3rd and 11. To the edge. Catch made by White Helton. Hasn't made a big impact yet, the redshirt freshman, but he's got some speed on the edge.
He sure does. He made a big clutch catch in that game in Knoxville. They have a lot of confidence in him. In fact, they've got 6 receivers as a group. You know, Branch is usually the guy that's more out to the perimeter. Great to see him make a clutch catch on that 3rd and 11 downfield.
Stockton to Bowens. They knew this guy was tough. They knew he prepared well, but his ability to make plays in the clutch, including that big comeback in Tennessee, certainly won over his teammates. And Stockton trying to do the same thing tonight after a very rough start.
Just don't force it. Take what's there. If they're going to drop, check it down. Let your backs and receivers do the work.
Branch off to the right. Single coverage over there against the speedster. They look back to the near side to Young, and he draws a crowd and is knocked down near the line of scrimmage by Deontay Lawson.
Lawson's had such a great career in Tuscaloosa. Been around, he's had a lot of injuries. 5th-year senior out of Mobile. Seems like we've been sitting down talking with him in production meetings forever.
They've used 4:14 on the drive. Quickly and quietly, it's inside of 4 minutes in regulation here. Increased urgency on this possession right here for Georgia. Emma brings heat. It's picked up and it's incomplete. So they didn't get home, but they perhaps rushed the play. It was Drake Kirkpatrick on the safety blitz.
They've been mixing up the looks, been a little bit more aggressive on certain downs and distances. That time, as you said, it's Kirkpatrick that brought that pressure. Good job of Hubbard to come over to be able to keep that coverage tight on Branch. And here we go with another big 3rd down.
Cass Jones, their 3rd down back to the right of Stockton. Low snap, flag on the play before the snap. Jones is going to be hauled down, slammed down hard for a loss. Dejon Lee, the corner, the freshman, made the play. Let's check what Kyle Olson has to say.
The tight end was moving.
Illegal shift.
Yeah.
Offense. 2 players were moving at the same time and never got set for a second. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
So, doesn't matter. They try to get it to the edge. Another look at the penalty here.
And watch the reaction. Watch how quickly up top the corners react. It's Alabama defense. Good job of not allowing, it was Lee, the freshman, not allowing that stalk block to take shape. That time they just took that away. Eyes in the backfield, able to wrap them up for a loss.
Dowd punts it. And a fair catch is made. So Georgia comes up empty and uses 4:40 on the clock. Alabama, nursing the three-point lead, takes over deep in their territory.
ABC's Saturday Night Football is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Quarterback comparison brought to you by Dr. Pepper Tower. Torrid start for Ty Simpson. Very efficient. Couldn't miss on third down. It's cooled off since. Gunnar Stockton, very quiet passing night. Does have one rushing touchdown. But now Simpson and the Tide take over. Third straight possession. Kirk, they've had bad field position. Sitting on this lead. But it's tenuous right now. How does Ryan Grubb play this? They haven't gotten much from the running game tonight. Miller hammers forward, showing great determination. Picks up about 7 on first down. Every play feels important at this stage.
It really does. Good, solid running. As you mentioned, they have not gotten a lot from this running game. This one you got to turn to your quarterback, who's been on point almost the entire night. What an opportunity for him. You know, you get these kind of moments as a quarterback when you're in a school like Alabama. And this is it's a critical moment where he can show what kind of clutch performer he is on the road. Rivalry game. Got to lead and manage this offense in a 4-minute offense.
Georgia's defense just kind of leaning forward, expecting a run, and they spend the first time out, try to get things organized. 2:32 left here in Athens. Crunch time between the hedges after that frenetic first half. 38 points scored. Defenses have controlled the second half. Georgia has the only touchdown after halftime, and Kalen DeBoer hoping his offense can grind out a drive here and secure a huge win for him personally on the road here and snap a 33-game home field win streak by the Dogs. Miller in the backfield on 2nd and 3. And Jam Miller, who's just finally returning to action tonight after a collarbone injury cost him, is going to be stopped just short, and that's going to bring up a third down. Raylan Wilson made the stop. So Kirby Smart spending the timeout here. Interesting on 3rd and short. Because if Alabama can, make a foot here, they're going to get a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, you used your first timeout. You still have the 2-minute timeout. But 3rd and short, with the timeout, they pick up the first down. Now what are you going to do? You're going to let the clock run down to the 2-minute timeout? You're going to use another one. I mean, Georgia knows you're going to run the ball. They have both C.J. Allen and Raylan Wilson kind of cheating up to the line of scrimmage. These guys have been swinging on each other for almost 60 minutes. It's been a battle in the trenches.
Miller's powerful, but they don't have a real physical back. They don't have the kind of running back that Georgia has with McCray or Bowens.
I think you sneak it here with Simpson. If you get under center.
They are going to sneak it, and he gets shoved from behind, and where they're spotting it, it's going to be an Alabama first down, and now a flag comes in at the end of the play.
I think that guy coming in late, diving on top of the pilot for just no reason at all. That was Ellis Robinson, the corner. Oh, boy, Kirby, that's a 15-yard dead ball penalty. If they end up calling that.
Well, yeah, that would make it a first down no matter where they spot this. I think he got first down.
Yeah, more importantly, field position, right? If you get the ball back, that's 15 yards.
The play is a first down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 1.
That's
15 yards will be added. First down.
It's losing your mind.
That's a critical moment in a football game. I mean, what in the world are you thinking here? The play is over. It's over. Whistles have been. This isn't a practice. What the hell are you thinking? That's 15 yards. You just cost the team.
That is just ludicrous. That wasn't late. That was way, way late. Important thing is that they did make the first down anyway. So now Smart, having spent the timeout, will get one in 8 seconds. Alabama was just going to let this run down to the 2-minute timeout. But the football has moved all the way up to the 38.
I can't believe that.
Final 2 minutes. Can the Tide maintain their stranglehold on Georgia head-to-head? They're close, but the job not done. This is off the timeout before that last play. Kirby Smart telling Ellis Robinson, pay attention, lock in. Well, here's what happened in the play. Way after the end of it, diving in, and it could have been called for targeting as he goes head-to-head with Bernard there. As it is.
He's off the field, by the way. DeMello Jones, 15 in for him.
Jan Miller is the back. It'd be surprising if they didn't feed him here, as Bama continues to try to work on the clock. And Miller breaks a tackle, exactly what they're hoping for on first down. Picks up a chunk.
And a good job there by Cuevas, the tight end. Coming over to the backside, cleaned up Gabe Harris. Got to go back to Kirby Smart with that timeout. Really surprised on that 3rd and 6 inches that he ended up using one of those timeouts. Here's this block coming this way, right towards you. Bang, opened it up. Good blocking up front.
Yeah, it was unlikely they were going to stop him. So to spend a timeout there, Bama gets the fresh set of downs. The penalty moves it. The 2-minute timeout's already come and gone. Now he's down to just one timeout. It's 2nd and 4, Kirk. If they get this first down, that's going to be it. He won't be able to stop the clock.
Yeah, I thought he would have let it run down to the 2-minute timeout, save his 3, and now hope to be able to get a stop and use all 3 to be able to get the ball back. These are obvious running situations. You get a stop with 3 timeouts, you can get the ball back for maybe a minute 20, minute 30.
Bama can move the sticks one more time tonight. It might be enough. Dogs way forward to stop the run, and they do grab Miller in the backfield. Jordan Hall was there first, and now with 3rd down coming up, they'll spend the last time out.
Yeah, use your last time out. Now you got to get into the mind of Ryan Grubb and what he might do here with a minute 50 and Georgia out of timeouts. You know, the easy thing to say, you got a quarterback that's made some great decisions, put it in his hands. This is how this game started. Ty Simpson just started on fire. They took the crowd out of the game. As you always expect, Georgia came all the way back. Got it to be very interesting. 17-14 by the time we got to halftime. But the game seemed to slow down in the second half. Not as much fireworks back and forth, but here we are at 24-21. I go back to that thought about what do you do? You run the football because you know you can work the clock all the way down, or do you trust the quarterback, Ty Simpson, who with a high percentage throw, don't take the sack, obviously, find an open receiver, inbounds. So it just depends on which route you want to go.
You get 5 yards, you win the game.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah. If you throw it in completion, obviously,
that's the risk.
You got to punt it, and Georgia will have more time to work with. Let's see what the call is. Williams and Horton off to the left, Bernard to the right. Now 3 receivers to the left. Simpson flips it in the flat. Miller's got it, and he slides down at the 50 with a first down. Great call, well executed.
All the attention going this way. They bring him back this way. Nobody there. 5 is trying to get out there in man coverage. Raylan Wilson, but what a heads-up play by Jam Miller to get down. But what a misdirection call by Ryan Grubb. All the attention going to the field with the motion. You think if they're going to throw it, he's going to half roll out, maybe throw it to the field. Instead, they go back the other way and completely fool Georgia and their linebackers. How fitting for this game to end on that play call by Ryan Grubb and the execution by the quarterback, Ty Simpson, based on the way this game went.
Phenomenal performance on third down by Simpson in this Alabama offense. They faced 19 third down conversions, made 13 of them, and Kirby Smart is going to taste defeat at the hands of the Crimson Tide again. He's going to drop to 1-7 against Bama and 0-2 in the post-Saban era. This will sting.
And our crew's really familiar with Kalen DeBoer over the years, watching his games and calling a lot of his games. If you're an Alabama fan and you've kind of been 1 foot in, 1 foot out on Kalen DeBoer, this is what Kalen DeBoer is. This kind of creativity offensively, toughness, ability to battle back. This is what he's done everywhere he's been as a head coach. And this Alabama team was backed into a corner after a week 1 loss. They clearly have come together, and they have come out swinging. That's been on display tonight here in Athens.
Crimson Tide come between the hedges and beat Georgia again.
I love you, man.
And Kalen DeBoer is a big game coach. If you didn't know that, and you're an Alabama fan or SEC fan, he's now 7-1 in top 10 against top 10 opponents. 7-1.
This is who he is. This is who you hired.
Laura Rutledge will get DeBoer's thoughts on this hard-fought road win.
All right, thank you, Chris. You knew, Coach, this was going to be a fist fight throughout. How would you describe the way that your team was able to come away with a huge win on the road?
Yeah, we talked about the old school 15-round heavyweight fight, and that's what this is going to be. And just proud of the fight that these guys had. You know, we took some punches now and then, but we just kept punching back. And these guys continue to get better and better. You see today, it's a heck of a team. Environment.
How would you describe the creativity offensively that was on display, led by your quarterback, Ty Simpson?
Yeah, we put you got an extra week, so we put a game plan together and go out and execute it. And he did that. He made the checks when he needed to, and our guys early on, especially in the first half, did a nice job moving the chains. Did a great job on third down in particular.
What can you say about what you're able to pull off in big-time moments against big-time opponents? Your record 7-1 against top 10 opponents. Why are you able to do that?
We got great people around us. Yeah, we just keep them believing, right? Keep them believing, keep them fighting, keep getting better. And then, when you got a way to find an edge, let's make sure we use it.
You found it tonight. Congrats.
Thank you.
Let's go to Holly with Ty Simpson.
Well, Ty, this was your first time playing between the hedges. You end a 33-game home winning streak for Georgia. How did you do it tonight?
Man, first off, I just want to thank the Lord. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ wouldn't be here. He gave us opportunity and the blessings to play today. But credit to my teammates, man. My defense stepped up in big times. A lot of guys on offense, I couldn't do it without them, man. I'm just so proud of this team and Alabama in general. I told them before the game, it's Alabama against the world. When we walk out of there, we're gladiators. All right, and this is the Coliseum, and they played like it.
You're right. This is one of the best atmospheres I've ever seen, and you were poised and composed, and you didn't let it rattle you. How?
One, like I said, my Lord and Savior. But, it goes back to, one, my coaches and my teammates. We just all week, we were intentional in everything we did, right? And it showed out here tonight. We played complimentary football. When, we couldn't get it going on offense in the second half, our defense played a hell of a job. And, man, I'm just so proud of my teammates, man. They did an awesome job.
Last question. This game is almost on ice, but you have got to get a crucial third down. Tell me about the play call, the misdirection to go to your running back.
Yeah, we call it a break glass moment. I told him, I was like, give me the ball, man. In critical conditions, give me the ball and I'll make a play. They brought blitz zero. I knew once we motioned him, we had him because nobody was going to take the back. And Jam made a good job. The tight end did a great job of sealing it, and we made a great play.
Enjoy this win, young man.
Thank you so much, and God bless.
Like he's enjoying it, his voice cracking and the emotion evident. Simpson joins the line of Alabama quarterbacks who have been able to play brilliant football against Georgia in this head-to-head series. That's why they've had the edge over the years. He joins Milroe from last year and guys like Bryce Young and those before him. Tua, he got it done tonight in his first moment, really, in a big SEC game.
He sure did. He faced a lot of different situations early. I love that he credited his his offensive line and his teammates now proud he was, because early in this game, Ty Simpson gets a lot of attention, but his offensive line, his receivers, Ryan Grubb as a play caller. This is a collective unit that came in here on a mission. It's a team that lost to Florida State, and a lot of people started to mock and laugh at Kalen DeBoer and Ty Simpson, and this team clearly went back to the drawing board and rallied. There's today's, look at those scores, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams in the top 10 go down.
Prudential bringing in the AP rankings. Yeah, moments ago, Happy Valley, it was a frenetic game there as well. Just a tremendous weekend in college football with the 3 wild finishes last night. This one here, Oregon led 17-3, went to overtime, converted on 4th down, and eventually won it at Happy Valley. But this one, I mean, people always ask us, what is it about the head-to-head? Why can Georgia and Kirby Smart beat everybody else, but Alabama's not made it 10 of 11 head-to-head?
No idea. I mean, a lot of it's these kind of games where it's a possession, you know, and the way the ball bounces. But Alabama, both these teams, I think with a new 12-team playoff, people at week 4 already want to say they're done, they're in. These are 2 really good teams. Now, we'll see what happens, where they go from here. But I'm just impressed by Alabama, because everybody, including their own fans, were wondering what kind of team do we have. You imagine being Kalen DeBoer and trying to step into that shadow of Nick Saban and having the year that you had last year, and you open up the next year with a loss, 31-17 at Tallahassee. The outside noise must have been deafening for him and his players, and they just did this. Us against the world is what Ty Simpson said when they took the field, and that's how they executed and played.
Yeah, enormously significant for those reasons. You can kind of overreach in the significance of this result. Remember last year, Georgia lost the game, ended up winning the SEC. A long, long way to go for both of these teams, but Alabama didn't care about that. It's sweet for them as they continue to own Georgia head-to-head. The thriller tonight between the hedges. A spectacular first half, a grinding second half. It came down to the final plays, but Alabama prevails 24-21. Hope you enjoyed it. Great job by all of our crew, by Holly and Laura on the sidelines, Bill up here in the booth. We appreciate you. Except for the West Coast, stay tuned for your local news over most of these ABC sessions. Chris, Kirk, Holly, Laura, and Bill saying so long from Athens, Georgia.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ABC.